here to give my opinion and carry in.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show where we basically talk about all the things going on in celebrity news, pop culture, anything that's going on in the world of entertainment. We chat about it on this here show. So, before we get started, can you please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and go ahead and smash that notification bell. So that way, you know, when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And we have a lot of tea to spill because I was working on a lot of these topics yesterday. So, friend of the show, Robert, did bring up that Kylie and Tove and Bebe Rexha have a song coming out this week. I did the work. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to get my opinion. Because all three of them did post some stuff on their Instagram. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Megan Thee Stallion made an appearance on Family Feud last night, and the Hotties are upset over a certain question that was asked when she went head-to-head with Neo. It had to do with some feats. So we're going to talk about that on this here show. Plus, Mena is throwing daggers at her baby father, ex-husband, Safaree, because he said that his breakup with Nicki Minaj was the biggest struggle that he's had to overcome, and she ain't like what she heard. But the people on social media went and dragged her, and we're going to talk about it. They also was mad because they was bringing up Nicki Minaj. Child, I ain't got time for the people in the cult, but we're going to talk about it. So, and I know I said I was going to talk about her, but unless something big came up and something big did come up. But we're going to talk about Hannaford, per usual, because word on the curb is she is seeking some good old revenge on Ben, and she's going for his $150 million fortune. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Cassie's attorney is going in on Diddy because while they're out here filing lawsuits and being all traumatized and shit, this old heifer is out here whitewater rafting and living his best life. And they wondering how is this heifer allowed to go and do all of that while and not in jail when we was sitting up here going through years of abuse, sex trafficking, all kinds of craziness. Man, speaking of mess, we're going to talk about Tamar, Braxton, Fiancé, because apparently he got arrested for a DUI. And speaking of DUIs, tourists, y'all are so damn shady. And apparently there's some tourists that's flocking down to Sag Harbor, and they're ordering a little something called Justini, you know, because of the whole Justin Timberlake Martini DWI situation. So they ordering martinis on his behalf. I said, "Oh, y'all messy." Well, look, at least y'all give us something interesting, make us Sag Harbor somewhat interesting, because it is a little boring, small little town. But anyway, so there's that. And then remember the homeless man that went viral for living in a storage unit? Well, apparently, you know, the white girl that he was in a relationship with, she went and she got tired of the BS and left his ass out there in the streets and went back home to her family because she is over living like, you know, a bum. She don't want to be out here stinking and things and trying to figure out where her next meal coming from or where she living at. There's video of him on social media popping off. He lost his damn mind. Child mental health is real. We're going to talk about it. Speaking of mental health, Megan Good is going in on her friends who advised her not to date Jonathan Majors. So she's talking about that. Simon Cowell, we did talk a little bit about this on the show. Apparently he's trying to do a whole reality show for Netflix around trying to look for the next One Direction, you know, these boy band type of situations. Well, apparently, the boy band thing is not working out in his favor because a few people showed up. There was even one guy that I believe that went on social media and posted himself telling Simon Cowell to go fuck himself. When I saw that tweet, I mean that video, I did have a cackle though. So we're going to talk about that. Oh my god, why is this page doing that? Okay, plus Azealia Banks is countersuing her landlord. Sharon Stone is opening up about her stroke in 2001 when she said her brain got pushed to the front of her head and all kinds of craziness. But the real gag is she's over here defending Kevin Spacey and talking about he should be allowed to act again even after, you know, the big SA allegations that came out about him. And I'm like, sis, that's not even your, you know, that's not even a battle that you should be out here trying to even assert yourself into. But Since she is, we gonna talk about it. So before we get to those topics, like I said before, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and notification bell, so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I was trying to, while I was busy running my mouth and give you all the rundown, I was getting annoyed because one of the Twitter videos that I had saw of the guy who went in and let have on Simon Cowell wasn't opening. But I found it. So give me a second so I can open that. So that way, via context, you can have that for y'all to watch the video. Because I love these these little thick English accents. Some of the little white boys, and they mutants between me down there. But anyway, why is Olivia Rodrigo Stanley, Tubi, and Candace and Prep all trending on social media? Well, we'll find that out later when I have to do the Google Schmoogle. But hold on. So now I do see we have a couple of comments before we get to the show. And it says, hello, 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 hello. I said good. I guess you mean good morning or afternoon. Katy Perry announced her album is called 143. Hold on. Now, since you brought this up, let's go over to Instagram since we live, child. And I could give like an instant reaction. So let's go to Katy Perry's IG and see if it's there. Did she post it? Or was it on? Well, I do see she posted the video. A video clip. Oh, I see it. Child, it comes out of my brother's birthday. I don't like my brother. So I guess, it makes me hate the album even more. So okay, so here's the album cover. And I did see that she was doing something in regards to talking about there's some portal that's gonna open, whatever the case is. What the hell does 143 mean? First of all, that's a stupid name for a title. This album cover is Airbrush for the Gods. It's interesting. Okay, and of course, here we go with the vinyls, because that's what they do with the whole vinyl situation in regards to that sort of thing. So I guess, okay, well, I feel indifferent. I don't care. I just think okay, so yay, just coming out with a new album. Feels like I'm bored with everything. I don't know we've heard snippets of the new single, whatever the case is. I'm not really feeling it. I need to hear the song in full. If I'm not mistaken, the official video drops tomorrow. I did see a little bit of the video on her social media when it dropped. And it's like she's doing the whole thing with the women's thing with the thing on a bandana on her head. Like we've seen so many pop singers from Jennifer Lopez to Pink do it. Like you are not bringing nothing new to the table. And then you try to go a little Looney Tunes with the video by dropping an anvil on herself. So I will say, in the words of Onyx, how you doing? I will say that the good thing I will say about it is that, at least she did something different. At least she's pushing herself, stepping outside the box a little bit. But so far, I'm not feeling this era. It just comes across as desperate. And I need to hear that new single, Woman's World, in full before I can get my full assessment. But so far, and she's definitely, they're putting out, the Capitol is definitely putting out all the stops in regards of what they're doing in regards to the music and all the other stuff. So I will give her that at least they're really putting out all this. I guess maybe because is she like the biggest star on their label? So I'm wondering if that's what that case is too. But yeah, I do agree. It is a choice. But speaking of choices, Chair, let's get into wait, let me hit my banner. Let's get into Kylie Minogue, who apparently has a new song coming out with Bebe Rexha and Tove. Now, Bebe Rexha last week was somebody talking about how she fed up with the music industry and how she's over the BS and how she gonna go scorch earth and start spilling all the tea. And then days later, we get the queen, the empress of pop, because Britney, I guess, is the princess. Madonna's the queen. Or should we call her the Duchess? Well, in a way, if you think about it, Kylie's still making music while Britney done retired and lost half her marbles. So I guess I don't care what nobody say. We don't go the international princess of pop, Kylie Minogue. And she's been dropping bops and been putting a lot more energy into really getting America under her wing. Whereas I know the international market, y'all not really feeling it all that much because you feel like Kylie's your girl. And I understand y'all protective of her and all the other stuff because America has not really been that kind to Kylie and especially supporting her music and stuff. The hardcore fans, the gays and things we have over here. I've been a Kylie fan since the Stock Aitken Waterman days and really got into her when she really transitioned out of that sound to doing, Impossible Princess, A for effort, but it wasn't my favorite. I did like the fact that she was experimenting with, the electronic, drum and bass and all that other stuff. But for when she went and did Fever, Fever gave me my life. Like that was like, okay, so Kylie's really solidifying herself. So she has a new song where she took to her official Instagram account and where she shared a photo of a pink silk fabric with a link that directed fans to pre-save a piece of music. The link featured the emojis for the Scorpio, Gemini, and Virgo star signs. Now, I was like, who's a what and a there and a then with the Virgo and the Gemini and the Scorpio? So apparently Kylie's a Gemini, Tove is a Scorpio, and Bebe Rexha is a Virgo. Now, the pop icon has shared a video clip on social media platform of herself dialing the number 606 and getting a phone call from someone named Mom. During the phone call, a snippet of the song could be heard before the singer says hi. So we do have that. And in case y'all didn't hear, I don't think we'll get flagged because it's like not even that long. So please hold as we play the clip.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, one more.
Hi.
Now I do wonder, I'm like, what does mom even mean? Oh, what I'm just curious about what the whole thing means. Is this the song that she did that she's been collaborating with Joe Corey? Because Joe Corey has been in the studio with Kylie for the past couple of months. They've been working on some music. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be for an extended version of Tension, or it might be just that she's releasing new music. From what I've been hearing, that she's also working on a new album, which I think would be smart. She hasn't really done a proper tour. She's done a residency in Vegas, which Christina Aguilera is now doing. And the people's accusing Christina of being on the Ozempic. But look, if mother is snatched, which I'm not hating on the body yada yada too. But look, I would use Ozempic if I needed to, if I wanted to get rid of certain parts of my body or Manjaro that that hard to get rid of fat, instead of I don't have to go and get it sucked out or any kind of surgery that can put my life at risk. I'd rather just take a pill and it just slide right off and suppress my hunger. But because Christina gave me old genie in the bottle tease with her body. So they said that Minogue teasing the music comes ahead of her BST Hyde Park show in London on July 13th. The likes of Marina, Anita, Altego, Ella Henderson. I like Ella Henderson. She does a lot of dance music. Tom Rasmussen, ADMT, Fred Roberts, Say Now, Grace Gachot, I think that's how you say her name, and Blusher, because I never heard of her, will be joining the Padam Padam singer as special guests. Any remaining tickets for the show can be found, and I have the link on my channel, on my website. So it says, she said, I can't wait to return to BST Hyde Park this summer, Minogue said when the show was first announced in February. My last appearance at this iconic event was in 2015, and it was a truly unforgettable experience. So excited to see you all again. Now, if you can tell, based on in the comments, somebody was like, this giving a potential collab with Madonna? Because it seemed like the fans don't want, it's cute or whatever when she does these things. And she has collaborated with Tove in the past. So this will be her second collab with Tove. This will be her first collab with Bebe. And no shade. I like Bebe Rexha, even though her music don't be given, I guess, that international crossover thing. She has have a couple of bops, and it would be nice if her career could have been bigger than what it is. But I guess she's not willing to, bring her knee pads to know, these situations and play the game to get that success. She's doing it the old school way, and sometimes that could be a struggle. But that would be the thing. If you really want to break the internet, y'all need to go in and and give us a Madonna Kylie collab, because that's what we need. Like, we definitely lived for it when Kylie got up on stage with her during the celebration tour. We want a Kylie Madonna collaboration, be it if Madonna puts on her new album, whenever that happens, or whatever the case is. I really hope that Madonna actually goes and gives us a dance record. Give us, like, I don't want to say Confessions 2.0, but I want something where it's just like, okay, now you really going deep within the whole house thing. Like, you are from the club. She's from the club. She did Danceteria and some of the other clubs coming up in New York. So you can give that old school 80s, 90s dance vibe, but kind of give it a more progressive sound. I would love to see Madonna in that whole situation. And she ain't got to dance hard. She had to get so many body parts replaced from how hard she be dancing and all them squats that she was doing in her tours, from the Drown World tour on down, when she do her infamous squat dance. Drop that kitty down low, honey. So while I am curious to hear what this song is, I will say, please don't make this shit to be like 2.5 damn minutes, because I'm gonna be annoyed that you got 3 girls on a song and y'all get like what? 30 seconds of a vocal. So because y'all already getting on my nerves with these 2.5 minute songs. And there's no way you're gonna be able to give me my life with the music. I understand y'all need to try to get the Spotify numbers and go viral and the TikTok and all that other crap. But if this song is a bop, and I'm looking forward to hearing it this week, I need more than, 2.5 minutes of a dance track. So I say all this to say, are you guys excited for this Charlie's Angels of Dance Pop collaboration? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving Charlie's Angels with the 3. So let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now we have comments. Child. Oh, she not. And didn't she lose a lot of followers on Spotify? And then I heard that she got booed overseas because she played, I think it was in Norway or one of the places, because she played the remix of a song she has with Taylor Swift. And apparently they didn't like that. I'm like, look, first of all, Taylor Swift may have a lot of people on lock when it comes to her music, but everybody don't have to like Taylor Swift shit. I know it's hard for some of these people to believe, but if people don't like Taylor, everybody ain't gotta like Taylor Swift. And why does it kept? Ice Spice been trash. I don't know what people see it saw in her and her music and her rap aesthetic. I'm like, and then writing a song about farts and shit. I'm like, are y'all slow and y'all living for this? Like it's the best thing since sliced bread? Child, bye. So, I don't think, yeah, Ice Spice ain't selling. Child, I mean, quite as kept, like the type of rap that I listen to, I don't, not her. I would listen to a Doja Cat. And I like Doja Cat, but that's no shade to her. Like, I would listen to a Doja Cat before I listen to a damn Ice Spice. That little orphan Annie, no, look, I'll take that back because I don't want to throw shade at Doja. I actually listen to Doja. I like her recent album and the extended version that she put out. I listen to Chlamydia Barbie, aka Sexy Red, before I listen to that broad. So is this the 10? Well, I wonder. I hope it is because look, I love Tension. Tension was good. Tension. Well, I will say this. Tension could have been better. First of all, it was a hodgepodge. There were certain songs that I'm like, it doesn't fit with what it's giving. If you're gonna give like a dance record, like go full on dance, there were some songs that were on the album that was a choice in my opinion. But people love Dance Kylie, and that's what we need. And I want a proper tour so I can go and get my coins together and support this tour when it comes. Okay, so you said the song's called My Oh My. Didn't Troye Sivan come out with a song? No, it was My, not My Oh My. My Oh My, I believe. Didn't Aqua have a song called My Oh My? I think they did. I live for Aqua. I love a cheesy dance record. It said this new Katie. Do you mean in regards of how it's going to be a big old flop? Or are you talking about the fact that she's experimenting? I will say this: as much as I've been throwing, tomatoes at this current Katy Perry era, me being inquisitive, I am curious to hear what the music sounds like. So I will be supporting it. Well, not supporting it in the sense of I will listen to it and give my opinion. She's not even in the top 500 anymore of most streamed artists. Well, damn. I'm like, Ice Spice Girl, what did you do? Why is nobody featuring her? Maybe they finally caught her and realized she wasn't that good. That she just got lucky off of, when she first came out with that song and being up under Nicki Minaj. Now nobody don't care. Oh yeah, and I saw that I saw that album cover, and you want to know something? Damn, this would have been a good one to bring up, and I'm glad you brought it up because I can bring it up now. There was a thing where they said this is a battle for the worst album covers, and they had her album cover where she looking like fucking Godzilla on the cover with that little orphan Annie wig, and then they had the original Megan Thee Stallion cover, the one that looked like she was coming out of a plant. That horrible ass album cover, and it was like the battle of the worst album covers. Who had the worst one? No shade. I still would have gave it to Megan because that album cover was a choice. I'm glad she changed at the last minute, but that whole thing when you had her looking like when you had Ice Spice looking like the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman on that cover, and everything looked just badly photoshopped. I'm like, who are y'all paying to come up with this shit? Y'all could have had me do it, and I hate Photoshop. I'd have came up with a better album cover. Yeah, I do hate doing Photoshop. I hated doing Photoshop when I was in film school. That's why I had other people do it for me. There was always ways that I would get like my other people in my class to help me do my the other shit that I didn't feel like doing. I say that now because it's been years. But anyway, let's move on. Speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, let's get into her. So apparently yesterday, and I didn't even know this, but I happened to see on social media. I was like, wait a minute, Megan Thee Stallion was on an episode of Family Feud with Steve Harvey. So I happened to see the clips and things online. And, she went head to head with Neo. And so fans, of Megan, who are called Hotties, they was upset because there was a question that Steve Harvey had asked her, and it didn't go the way that I guess they planned. And look, quiet as a cat, when I heard the question, I was thinking what everybody was thinking, but the people went on social media and said what they said. So what I'm going to do is shout out to the Neighborhood Talk because they have the clip. We're going to play it, and then we'll talk.
Name something you've done to your mate's feet. Megan.
Massage.
Massage. Pass and play.
Play.
We're going to play. Let's go. Travis, about to dig off into your personal life now.
Okay.
We ask 100 married people, name something you've done to your mate's feet.
Cut their toenails.
Cut their toenails. Come on, player. Snip. Travis got my hands in there, just working with him real nice. There you go, honey. You good? You all right? You still feeling that? Click. Travis cutting toenails. Name.
Okay, so there you have it. And of course, people was pissed over the question. Based on, do we need to go down memory lane with the whole thing with Tory Lanez and the pow of her foot? How he went and pow her foot, Della Reese style and Harlem Nights. So, some people found the moment wholesome. Others found the question to be insensitive because of the situation what happened, where Tory Lanez is in, the clinker for 10 years over the whole pow situation. So fans took to Twitter to express their surprise. One user commented, Family Feud got Bigfoot and her friends on, and the first question is about feet. Okay, now you can't be no damn fan and you gonna make that comment because that Bigfoot reference is from Nicki Minaj, so clearly you're a bard. Now another wrote, asking the first effing question with Meg about what you do to your mate's feet is diabolical. A third remark, Celebrity Family Feud is messy because why would they have this foot category tonight? Meg is on here. Another person said, now they now they know they should have omitted that feet question. This was so tacky of them, but glad she was gracious. She will continue to be blessed, said another. Now, that being said, fans were impressed with how she didn't skip a beat, despite the nature of the question. I love how Megan don't let BS get to her, a commenter added. In the end, I should point out, Meg's family won the competition, which is good because I can't stand Sue Coolers and his trifling ass. So I'm so glad that Neo didn't win. Throw his ass back in the goddamn Matrix. So in my head, I was thinking what everybody else was thinking. I was out here thinking, oh, when they said name a thing that you do to your mate's feet, I'd have been like, shot him. That would be the shady part. But I am glad that Megan, didn't give in and go in and have on the whole situation. Now, what I was wondering is that the production, were y'all not aware? I mean, do they got a lot of white people working behind the scenes that don't listen to hip hop and know what's going on with this whole situation? And I guess Steve being old, he probably don't pay attention to what's going on in hip hop and stuff either. I don't know. I'm trying to see the other side. I always try to get a benefit of the doubt. I could easily just go in and be cynical, but as I get older, I'm trying not to immediately rely on being cynical and always think negative. I always want to try to see, both sides before I come to a conclusion. So I don't know. But then again, it's like all y'all got the internet. Google is your friend. I'm sure y'all know the tea that was going on with Megan. Y'all can't be that damn dense. I'm sure a lot of people behind the scenes got children that listen to Megan. Or some of them might be Hottie fans. But the good thing is, I love the fact that she got to go on Celebrity Family Feud and she was having a good old time. And, especially since the fact that, both her parents aren't here. Her mother passed away. I'm not sure of the history with her father, whatever the case is. But it was good to see that, she got to go on the show and she had people on there who truly care and support her. And she was having a good old time. And even with the feet question, yes, it was messy and the timing was what it was. But she was up there having a good time. And so shout out to you, Megan. Shout out to your album, Megan, for hitting the top 3, especially being an independent woman and all the, endeavors and stuff that's going on. I know some people was bringing up Nicki in the whole conversation, but I'm like, child, this ain't got nothing to do with her. This ain't got nothing to do with the situation. This is basically Family Feud being messy and bringing up what they brought up. So I asked you all, do y'all think that they were being messy over there at Family Feud? Or is it just an oversight? Whatever your thoughts are, put it in the comments down below. Now, speaking of comments, let's go. This said, did Megan even know that? Can you imagine that? Maybe she did. Did she? Because it's like, oh, well, sometimes, that adrenaline be pumping. You be in the heat of the moment. You don't be hearing it. It's just like, you got to be quick. Because I remember the other day on Father's Day, I was playing. It is not easy playing Family Feud. Because on Father's Day, I was at my grandfather's house because I hadn't seen him since his 90th birthday. And my cousin, she is one that she's in her 50s, so she loves board, like the thing that we always grew up with, and especially her, like regardless internet, whatever the case is, her and her kids, even though her kids are like in their late 20s and 30s. She's got a couple of kids, 2 kids in their 30s, 2 in their 20s. So, and then she's also a grandmother. Don't ask me. That's their business. The people that be out here having their kids when they're young, that's their decision. That's what you do. But she's always pushed this thing where it's just like always we play video games. I mean, not video games, board games regardless. So it's just like, in the era of digital and all this other stuff, it's good to always see, Gen Xers, whatever that are, let's play games. We play spades, play Uno, whatever game that I come across, let's just play it. So we played Family Feud. And when them questions and stuff was coming up, it was hard. Like, you really got to be on it. Like, your brain, you really have to be on it with them questions. So I don't envy, anybody that go on them shows, the real shows, because I think, like, you can kind of give yourself a little second when you playing it in real life versus on TV. TV, they only give you 3 damn seconds when you got to really be on it. Otherwise, you get buzzed with the X. So, I I do wonder if she noticed, or she was just like being quick on it. Now, as far as like when the episode was filmed, that's a good question because it didn't even say it in the research and stuff I was doing when they filmed it. But I'm sure it had to have been filmed at least a good month or two ago. So I don't think it's an old, like it was filmed years ago, because that whole trial with Megan and Tori, that happened like last year, right? So I don't think they filmed it, a year or two ago. Like when they be filming these Family Feuds, a lot of these game shows, they film a whole bunch of them. But I'm sure that had to have happened this year where they filmed it, so they knew. Oh my God, it's so annoying when you be drinking and then all of a sudden it's like it starts dripping all over your clothes. It's the sweat. And I do have a fan on. It's like real low because it's hot and 3 shades of hell outside. And so I actually forgot that happened to Megan. With that in mind, I hope that since hey Lynette, how you doing? I was like, I'm just reading the question. Because I hope that since she seems to be living her best life. Yeah, because you want to know something also? It's like, I feel like a lot of people, especially when they be jumping in the comments, any little thing that Megan does, you get the haters. And a lot of the haters tend to be and there's no shade, a lot of the barbs, because y'all always want to bring up Nicki's name and a lot of shit. So clearly you have to be when you bringing it up. And then they always want to throw shade or call her Bigfoot or make little comments or whatever the case is because y'all want her to be miserable. And it's like, why do y'all want certain celebrities to be like, y'all just out here hating on these people and she out here touring, cleaning up, having a successful arena tour. And I told you I worked her tour. I worked her tour and I worked Nicki's tour. And show, I should say. So, and I was the feet away from Nicki. I mean, Megan, not Nicki, feet. I was like, no pun intended when I said feet away. I just realized what I said. But it was like, yeah, it was like because I was on the floor and child, it was chaos down there. I was like, I don't mind doing the floor, but yeah, it's so much that be going on down there. Get medical stuff you got to deal with, and it's just chaos, and people ever just not in their seats and insecurity. It'd be a lot. So it was really hard for me to concentrate on her show, but she gave a good show. And we can't shade the fact that for someone who's an independent artist, that she's at a place in her career that she's built a big enough fan base that she doesn't need the backing of a major label to have success. And that's the good thing about it, being an independent artist. Excuse me. I also think that if this newer generation was smart, they would actually look at Megan as a blueprint in this way. Because if you notice that a lot of labels, they look at TikTokers and all these other things to get people interested, because we're going to talk about this thing with Simon Cowell later on, where they talk about the whole boy band drama and how now, because it's not doing what needs to be done, they're relying on people on social media and TikTok to get the word out. So now they looking to us, the influencers, to sell a product or to get people's eyes on situations. And if the artist was smart, if you are someone who has a passion for music and want to be an artist, don't sign to a label. Put your music out there. Try to get your stuff to where it needs to be. I know it might be a little hard or whatever the case is, but if you are somebody who's smart, that understands like the business side, or you can hire a business manager or somebody who understands how to get your foot in the door of performing in certain places, you can get to a place of like a Megan Thee Stallion where you've accumulated enough of a fan base that you don't need to rely on a major label to get the word out there. These days, people are using their Instagram to post up their album covers, the cover art, there's links and whatever that you can use to print your records or to get the word out there and the vinyl and stuff. So the smart thing to do would be to go independent, because you don't need the labels. The labels will be like, yeah, we can put up the money, but you have to realize when you put up that money, you have to pay it all back. And a lot of times they try to shelve you because they don't want your shit to be out there. So hopefully that people are smart enough to basically realize if this is something serious that you want to do, you want to be that in the same situation of like a Chapel Roan or whatever the case is, where you are out here touring, or Megan, where you actually are selling out arenas and you're independent because you don't have to pay all that money to these major labels, but you don't need them. It's more and more artists are going independent. There's been a couple of videos about, there was one that I wanted to see on YouTube. I have it saved, but I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Where it was somebody like, should some of your faves go independent? So I need to watch that one. Maybe I'll watch it today if I have the time. As I said, the thing with all these independent artists, they were all originally signed with a label and got big being on the label and aren't necessarily fully independent. Well, yeah. So it's like being independent, you gotta, unshackle yourself and them people, and you gotta get out here and actually put in the work. But that's the problem with a lot of these artists. A lot of them don't want to put in and understand the business side, and that's how y'all get ripped off. So we're in a time where y'all really need to pay attention to the business side of what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll be taken advantage of. Okay, so let's move on and let's get into this mess. So Erica Mena, because we were talking about Nicki Minaj, and she does come up in this story, so we're going to talk about it. So Erica Mena is apparently upset because Safaree recently did an interview or something on a podcast, and she decided to throw shade at Safaree because he wound up saying that his breakup with Nicki Minaj was one of the darkest moments of his life, because apparently she thought that he would have mentioned her because I guess because she's Erica Mena. I guess she feels like many of these girls that, they got the magic pussy that's going to change these men from being the bums that they pretty much are. When Safaree pretty much showed her who he was from the beginning. But like I said, some of these girls out here be acting like they got that old magic coochie that they can change these men from being bums and all of that. So we do have that clip. We're going to play it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go and give Erica's response, because he went on this podcast called We in Miami. Never heard of them, but since it's brought up, we're going to talk about it. So please hold and play the clip.
What would you say your biggest struggle or obstacle you ever had to overcome?
Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat. Like, I was with Nicki. We broke up. So her fans and certain people, they just wanted it to be like, okay, they're not together no more. Him. Let him be nothing. Let him disintegrate. Let him disappear. Whatever. But 9-10 years later, 10, 15 TV shows later, a lot of music out later, doors up later, cribs, like, I'm still here. And, some people don't like that. They're like, damn, why still paying attention to this? When me and Nicki first broke up and she got with Meek, and they were like the biggest in the world, and we was all beefing and shit. You got to think about it. I had two of the biggest people in the world, like, against me. So that made everybody be against me.
Right, the whole industry.
Yeah, so it was like nobody wanted to be next to me. Nobody wanted to, like, work with me or none of that. So it just made everything hard. And I was like, that was a dark time for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's really affected you. Do you wish, like, you had kept your relationship with Nicki a secret?
Even nobody knew until after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. There were rules, like, you guys, you couldn't, like, kiss in person or, like, show affection.
Hell no. That wasn't even a thought.
Kanye West once shared that he asked you if Nicki Minaj would be interested in a threesome. And that's true? He asked you that?
Mm-hmm. Yo. Yeah.
But he didn't know y'all was together, apparently.
Nah, he didn't know. It was funny.
So what was your response to Kanye West when he said that?
Nah, so he was with Amber. We was in Hawaii. And we playing basketball, and this guy is like on some homeboy with me.
Right. So what was your response to him?
I just was like, I don't know, bro. You just gotta see what's up.
He down with the mission.
What would you say your biggest struggle or obstacle?
Okay, so I just want to pause it there. That's what I was looking for, because I wanted to get it on Safaree face so we can leave it there. But anyway, so with him saying that, I did see some people in the comments that was getting mad, like, why y'all always bringing up Nicki? Why you always bring up Nicki in the conversation? Like, I'm really tired of y'all bringing up Nicki name or whatever, and it is about them and Vlad. Well, first of all, Vlad say bringing up the same damn things over and over. If it ain't people talking about Nicki, he want to talk about gays and trans people, because secretly his ugly ass probably want to get with one. But now back to Safaree. In this situation, I'm sitting there like, why? First of all, why are the Barbs getting mad over the fact that they're asking him a question? And yes, it comes with the whole Nicki Minaj thing, because here's the thing: when that's your when that's like the biggest celebrity that people know that he was in a relationship with, that he had a hand in getting her to where she is, I guess, in her career, based on him working behind the scenes and stuff with her, of course they're going to continue to ask him that. Just like when it comes to Sam Asghari, they going to forever be asking about Britney because that's the biggest celebrity that this guy who nobody was familiar with, has been with. So they're going to ask him that, even though he can't say shit because, the NDA. Whereas Safaree and Nicki do not have an NDA and stuff, so he's allowed to speak. Now, the thing, of course, because Nicki at the time was, before all the things started coming about her being problematic or whatever the case is, and a lot of people don't want to fuck with her in the business, in the major music industry, when she was on top, of course, people are going to always want to mess with who is hot at the moment. So when you are the boy that broke her heart or whatever the case was, they were saying, and whatever the narrative was, he's going to be tossed aside and people aren't going to want to work with him. That's just the nature of the business because people in this business is fickle, phony. That's just the way a lot of these people are behind the scenes. They're going to go where the money resides. And at the time, the money was residing with Nicki. So that's who they was going to mess with. But at the same time, he should have a right to say what he wants to say because you know what? That whole situation messed with his livelihood. He couldn't make money the way he wanted to make money. So of course, because of his attachment to Nicki, let's be clear, because I want to talk about, why y'all bringing Nicki up, but because of his association with Nicki Minaj, that's what got him on Love and Hip Hop. That's what got him on a lot of those reality shows. So people have to realize that it's always about connections of who you know, who you've been associated with, and a lot of times they use that as a way to get people's eyes on their reality shows. So yeah, he made his coins through the reality TV situation. And that's the way, unfortunately, the cookie crumb. That's the way the industry is. That's how they operate. So for y'all to get mad, why you ever gonna bring them up? That's why. That's why they brought the name up, because it's a topic of conversation. Also, it helps, it gets people like me, pundits, talking about it. And it also helps these people's podcasts go viral. Because everybody got a damn podcast these days. We talk about it enough on this show. So that's why. So it's like we got to break shit down because apparently a lot of y'all are too damn slow to get it. So, of course, this rubbed Erica Mena the wrong way. So she took to social media and said the following: I will forever be embarrassed I gave sis this incredible, beautiful babies. Or, sorry, she said, I gave sis these incredible, beautiful babies. He don't even talk or care about his seeds this much online or in real life. Hopefully, sis can end his deadbeat struggle next. Now, here's the thing. Erica, I'm about sick of you and these other bitches out here. And yes, I'm referring to women like her as bitches because y'all are. And I'm talking about the Erica Mena types that y'all lay down in bed with these bums knowing full on well how they are. And then you get mad because you realize you ain't had the golden crust written, pasted around your labia minora and majora that could have changed this man into thinking your pussy was the golden pussy and he was only going to stick with yours. And then what irritates me about women like her is that when y'all get mad at men, y'all want to give them female pronouns. You want to call them cis. You want to call them gay. You want to give them you want to emasculate them. For what? You wasn't feeling that way when you spread your legs and gave them 2 children. Knowing full on well after the first baby, he was showing you who the fuck he was. But then you thought what? Baby number 2 was going to change him? And then he realized, oh no, I'm pregnant with baby number 2 with this man. And then you mad because the same cycle started up again. And then you went all over social media mad, and then you lost out on a job over at Love and Hip Hop because you wanted to call Spice some racial slurs, which ended up getting you fired over there. We ain't forget about that. How your colorist ass was over here, being racist and making comments about Spice and the shit you said, calling her a monkey and things. We ain't forget about that, sis. So no, you don't get no empathy. Just like Evelyn don't get empathy because she thought she ate. See, this is another situation. These 2 high yellow bitches up in here thinking that they ate with they shade, but the shit backfired. Because Evelyn thought she ate by going on VH1 and hiring a private investigator to find out 30-year-old news on Jackie Christie, oh, she was married 4 times and she was selling pussy. But she got Doug. She been with Doug for over 30-something on years. Meanwhile, you still selling pussy for currency with these athletes and these people that, whoever can financially satisfy you. And we ain't gonna forget about how your little dusty ass daughter is out here allegedly pregnant by the game. So I have no sympathy and empathy for broads like her who want to sit up in here and throw shade. Now, don't get me wrong. Safaree ain't innocent either, but we got to point out both sides. So it's like, you knew who you got with, and if he's a bum and out here not taking care of his children, then he a piece of shit too. But sis, you're not innocent in this situation. So I don't understand how people like them, y'all want to pop off on social media and get mad when you should be mad at yourself. Windmill yourself. Don't get mad at, don't get mad at him. You should be mad at yourself too. And if he's not doing what needs to be done, take his ass to court and get child support. So anyway, so there was that. I didn't know where I was gonna go with that story. But the people on social media, they said this. They was like, as she should be embarrassed because she didn't do her research and made the dumb decision of marrying him and procreating with him. Nicki Minaj was with him 14 years and did neither, yet she got with well, don't even get me started on her getting with Kenny, Kenneth Petty. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day because people still windmilling her over, laying down, marrying, and having a baby with someone who's on the registry. So you was good in the beginning, but then when you started going to that was null and void. So another person put, so she's not allowed to speak on his breakup from a 14-year relationship. Erica Mena always been trash. She wanted his darkest time to be because of her. That's why she's straight poison. Quiet as it's kept. And then another person put, it's the sis for me. Well, I already said what I said on that. Another person said, girl, I remember she felt nice because she bagged him and was dissing Nicki. Karma got you. Another person put that part. People acting like they forgot. Not me. Another person put, I really wish she had more emotional maturity. Now that's what it is. She should have some damn emotional maturity. Because how old is she? I know it's in this damn story that I posted. Well, she got 2 kids with him, Sapphire, who's 4, and Legend, who's 3. So she had the babies, a year apart of each other. She's 36 years old, still doing this shit. Sis, you on the later side of 40. You pushing 40 doing this foolishness. You should know better. So, there was I was trying to read something, I thought there was something else that was said in regards to the whole thing, but yeah, it was said in the clip that we saw, so I'm good. We good on that. Another person said, he said and then somebody put side, don't make me defend Safaree. Another person put, the kids don't deserve this, but you definitely do. Damn, everybody going in on her. This is all on Threads, by the way. Another person said, Erica trash talked Nicki when she got with Safaree, knowing the fact Erica was a Nicki Minaj fan. I did hear that she did say something or another that she wasn't a Nicki fan, that she's more or less a Little Kim girl, whatever the case was. I guess she was throwing daggers at her, whatever. This is the only man I feel for after a divorce. Hashtag surviving Erica. I'm like, damn, everybody is going in on her. But everybody knows, it's like, look, Erica ain't innocent. Some of the messy things that she's done in the past, especially with the type of men that she has spread her legs for. People are not feeling sorry for her. And as somebody who's been following Erica Mena, especially on Love and Hip Hop, people got reasons to feel how they feel. Now, I say, listen, say, what do y'all think of this story? Are y'all with Erica on, does she have a right to feel how she feel, or y'all on Safaree's side? First of all, I think they both a mess, and they both not that innocent. But at the same time, I feel like Safaree has a right to feel how he feels, especially because he said his breakup from Nicki affected his money. It affected him working in the music industry. But he found a way to rebound back by being on reality TV, and he got the OnlyFans. We see why them girls be running to him. You see how big that ding-a-ling is? Even though some people say, it ain't that big. It do the trick. What you want the shit down to his knees? I'd rather be the size of his than one being down to his knees and the shit don't get hard. Ask Castro, the porn star supreme. All that dick he got between me down there and the shit don't even get hard. So, and we know plenty of men that be getting that be having their middle be like that. So let me know in the comments down below. Okay. Wait, what is that? Oh, I was confused with some of the questions. Okay. Okay. So Onyx says Safaree knows good and well his career peaked yeah, exactly. And he definitely benefited from it. But at the same time, it's like once that whole drama between them happened when they broke up and all this other stuff, his career definitely dipped. He wasn't able to accumulate the same type of success because of his association with Nicki, which is why he had to resort to going on reality TV shows. VH1 basically paid his bills. One of my friends from my Kylie community is scared of Project 2025 and Fears for America. Child, first of all, we all are afraid of Project 2025. And we heard that Trump is trying to distance himself and they're trying to rejudge it into something else. But if the stupid ass Democrats were smart, instead of always sitting on their damn hands acting like they weak with no goddamn spine, they be out here really pushing and letting people know about this Project 2025 instead of relying on people like Taylor Swift, Oprah, and Taraji P. Henderson to do the job for them. It's like, we put y'all in office, you politicians, to do your job. Stop relying on celebrities to sell your message. So I'm hoping and praying that Project 2025 don't happen, but I'm only one person. So everybody else has to get on board too and wake the fuck up. Unless y'all want a country full of fascists. And don't get me wrong, both sides are pushing for oligarchy. Say that I always struggle to say that word. You know, the Biden Democrats, you know, they love an oligarchy. So does Trump. So he even states that not only does it affect your country, but it will definitely affect the entire world. Think of us because everything is, because everybody looks at America, unfortunately, I don't know why, as the blueprint. But we be having so many damn village idiots running this fucking country. Or people just love voting against their own self-interest because they've been poisoned in their mind by these people to keep pushing forth their prejudice against other people. Not realizing the United States was built on the backs of black slaves, that it was a stolen, colonized country from Native Americans. It's like y'all don't want to know the history because they keep trying to erase it, or y'all just want to believe what y'all want to believe. But you know, we have the situation of what it is. He said she's right though. To a point, it's like, yeah, Safaree's a bum, but she knew what she got when she messed with him. And this is Arrow Video announced a 4K limited edition pressing of Friday. You know what? I was watching some Friday the 13th deep dive videos earlier when I was putting the show together. So, how many versions of Friday the 13th are they gonna keep putting out? What I need is, the only way y'all gonna get me to start keep buying Friday the 13th box sets, whatever the case is, y'all need to find a way to find that old footage that the MPAA made y'all cut from the films, the gore and all that other stuff, because I had a problem with the violence and everything. If y'all can find a way to find that footage and incorporate it back in these films and remaster it in that way, that's the only way you're going to get me to spend more money on a Friday the 13th box set. I said Kylie properly announced the track with Tove and Bebe Rexha in a promo video. Wait, did she just put that on her IG? It said retailers like Macy's are charging customers up to... Well, I'm glad I don't go to Macy's. I told you, I shop online. The other day, because my mother was looking for something to buy my uncle, who's turning 100. Yeah, the thing about my mother's side of the family, they live a long damn time. Like, I had a cousin that lived to be 109. I don't know what's in the water, but I have families that be living in the triple digits. So my uncle's about to turn 100, I think in a couple of weeks. I think maybe next week or something or another. And so my mother was looking for a top or something because so she was, what was it? We went to one of the stores. I can't remember which one. I think it was like Marshall's or one of them. Couldn't find nothing. And I was like, this is why I shop online. Because I can't be in these stores dealing with the lines and the fact that y'all be charging all this interest and things. And if they think that this is a way to get people to come to the stores and buy things, y'all are sadly mistaken, because I want to keep charging people all this interest because y'all are losing business and y'all thinking this is the way to get us to spend our money. this is a bad idea, and you're going to end up closing y'all stores. It's like chlamydia Barbie. That's what I refer to her as, because she always talking about, her nasty vagina and all that other mess, and how you naming things after like STIs. Then she had like a bunch of fragrances that she was naming gonorrhea and all this other shit. That's why I call the bitch Sexy Red. That's what I'm talking about. If y'all didn't know, chlamydia Barbie. So it was like, I'm sure a lot of celebrities are going to back out of publicly endorsing a candidate. Yeah, because you know what? People are really going in on this whole Palestine thing. And I think like on both sides, people are worried a bit about like, I don't think the older politicians are understanding how serious a lot of the young people are about this whole politics thing. But also, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I get it that y'all want to be mad about the whole Palestine situation, but also on the other side, because it's like a tug of war situation. Who do we vote for? Like, we keep talking about Green Party and all this other stuff. People really don't interject in a Green Party because the story that they keep saying, well, if you vote for a third candidate, it's an automatic number go to the Republicans. And then we had the situation where they don't talk about with Biden, about, oh, yeah, I beat all the other Democratic candidates. But yeah, you didn't. What you do is you have people, your constituents, who purposely try to lock out other Democratic candidates because certain people, when we talk about oligarchies, they want to keep people voting a certain way. They want to keep certain people in power because they don't want a change. They want to keep America a certain type of way on both sides. So they don't want the change. The people want the change. They're not understand. I guess because a lot of people don't understand politics. They're starting to slowly understand politics. But this ain't the time to be playing around where it's like we can give a vote to Trump because we cannot allow that orange wide back bastard. And this is what I don't understand. That you even see the blue, like the mainstream media, like MSNBC, CNN, all these other, who's supposed to be liberal, but we all know that they're not. Y'all are like wolves in sheep's clothing. I don't understand how all this energy, because Joe Biden, yes, he been acting like the damn crypt keeper for 4 years he been running for president because he old as hell. It ain't got shit to do. We shouldn't even say the old age thing, but if your mind is mentally not able to handle a lot of the work that goes into being a president, you should not be a president. We should have a cutoff limit to when, at what age. Just like my grandfather, who is 90, cannot get behind a car and drive because of his age, because, he was getting into accidents, all this other, just like we have an age cutoff for certain people that cannot do certain things in life. There needs to be that in politics too. You should not be running governing office until you drop fucking dead. Like, that's ridiculous. You need to be mentally and physically competent to run a country because it's a lot of work and it's a lot to ask for. But we got so many goddamn village idiots running around just doing whatever, not listening to the people. We put y'all in office, but y'all still do whatever the fuck y'all want. So it makes people think like, well, what's the point of me voting if y'all not going to do what we put you in office for? Now, there are idiots who will continue to vote against their own self-interest, which is why we got the Neanderthal, Marjorie Taylor Greene, doing what she doing over in Georgia. Or you got Meals on Wheels, Greg Abbott, who apparently is not in the country while Texas is undergoing a whole, tropical storm situation. His ass done evacuated. What do you got? Like NOS or propane tanks on the back of his wheelchair that he was able to get out of here with the force of like one of them cars in the Fast and the Furious? Like, how was he able to get out so damn quick? And just basically abandon his people when they need him the most. But then again, y'all need money. Y'all need Biden's help, but he's mentally incompetent to run the country. But you need money to help with the situation that's going on over in Texas. Make that make sense. But I don't want to make this too much about politics. Let's keep moving with the show. And so that's on my Screen Factory Limited box set, but they have found footage, radio ads. I forgot they did radio ad films and documentaries. Glad I don't live in America. No offense, but it is a mess. And there's no offense, none taken. You can talk shit about America. I do. Yeah, our police is a mess. The courts is a mess. The Supreme damn Court. And they said Clarence Thomas been bought and paid for so much, we would suck all his ass Clarence Thomas. Oh, he sure know how to clear a check. you know, or whore his wide back ass to the highest bidder. And so let's be honest, most of us are going to vote for Biden because, yeah, I mean, look, and trust and believe, I do not want Biden. Can't stand what he's doing. I despise what he's doing with Palestine and then the stuff that's going on with Rafah and so many other places that these colonizers is trying to invade. While we look the other, well, not us, but they look the other way. However, at this point, I will vote Biden's head in a jar. I will vote for that before I vote that orange bastard in the office because he don't need to be running. You know, he did, and y'all act. It's funny how y'all seem to forget he did a terrible job when he ran the country the first time. So why would you put his ass back in office? And that was the thing I meant to mention because I forgot to say this earlier. Why the hell are y'all talking about? Oh well, Biden need to step down because of the whole debate thing. But I ain't hear none of this from any of the sides, Republican or Democrat side, media, when it came to Trump and all the shit he's done. The how many counts, the 30-something plus counts of felonies that he's been charged with, none of the papers, none of the stuff said he needs to not be the presidential nominee. None of y'all said this, but y'all saying this about Democrats. This is why I say about Democrats, y'all got no fucking spine. And this is why people look at y'all the way that they look at y'all. Y'all are embarrassing. And this is what the people are saying. We're not talking about media who tries to cover up and hide shit. So it said the gays need to understand the Palestine thing. They know it's anti-gay, it's children, it's family. My thing is, look, there's gay people that are Palestinian too. There's LGBTQIA plus people that are Palestinian as well. So we're not just gonna, not you, but I'm just saying that people need to understand that when they over try to equate that as they will kill you, they would burn you. That's why I've had to chop friends because they were coming with that excuse. I'm like, okay, and Israelis won't. The only place that I know that is probably a little bit liberal on the Israeli side is Tel Aviv. But they racist just as well. A lot of them Israel people, they racist. But when it comes to the Palestine, it's like, yeah, that may be true in a lot of situations, but let's not act like that there aren't queer people being affected by what's going on over there as well. Or in any parts of the world where they deal with discrimination because of their queerness. I know Egyptian gays that deal with it. There are Palestinian gays that are dealing with the situation. So should we just like exclude them? They said most people I met aren't into politics in their 20s. They still see themselves as kids and just want to have fun because the adults not living. Yeah. Maybe it's just me and my friend, but I've always been interested in politics, even when I was 12 watching the electoral vote. Well, you might be a rare one. I mean, I know I guess I'm realizing that there are some people that are getting more into politics now more than ever, and I think it's because of social media is opening people's eyes up. At first, you know, we had Western media that controlled the narrative, especially when it came down to things that was going on with 9/11, that sort of thing. The media always controlled what got in and got out. Now that social media is here, which is why they was trying to go in and destroy TikTok, because people were getting the information. You would hear Western media say, oh no, TikTok is spreading misinformation. They're the ones that's out here being anti-Jewish or whatever the case is, when we've seen videos of actual Jewish people who are pro-Palestine, or, you know, anti what's happening to the people in Palestine. There have been people that have been on the front lines alongside Palestinians and regular folk protesting, but the media doesn't want to show that. They want to play up this certain narrative, and they don't like it that they don't get to control the narrative like they used to. Well, lucky y'all, shit, I might move to England. They shouldn't have them. Like, first of all, and it's like, they be feeling, oh, it's ageist, or whatever the case is. If you go and describe, no, if you're not competent to run a country, neither one of these two should be running a country. Trump, psychotic ass, and Biden's deteriorating brain. Because people didn't realize this back then. They were saying, like, Ronald Reagan, I think he did 2 terms. That was before my time. But Ronald Reagan, I believe, did 2 terms. And they said he had Alzheimer's in his 2nd term, I believe. So his brain was deteriorating, but they kept it secret. So it also makes you wonder, it's like, okay, so Biden may be the face, but who's really running things behind the scenes? And I've heard people say that they want Kamala to be the vice president. I don't know if that's a good idea because a lot of people don't like her either. It ain't got nothing to do with her being a black woman. It got to do with, well, it could be with some people, you know, the racists. But for the most part, a lot of her policies, especially when it came to how her arrest record and all the other stuff, people don't particularly take to her with that either. So y'all knew that Biden was what he was when he was back then. So it's too damn late. Y'all need to figure out what y'all going to do in the next 4 months and get people motivated to be like, you know what? We may not like the shit that we've been dealt. We will do better the next time. I feel like that 4 years from now, once we make sure that orange wide back motherfucker don't get to be president, that, you know, we'll sit and we'll deal with the BS that we got to deal with the Democrats for another 4 years. But the next group of Democratic presidential nominee that gets to run 4 years from now, that now that we have the knowledge that we have, we will do a whole lot better and hold people's feet to the fire in regards of what we need to do. This is not the time to play, especially with this wannabe fascist trying to get in this whole Project 2025. It's like, yeah, this is unfortunately the hand that we've been dealt. And this is what we stuck with because Democrats want to look the other way. People wasn't paying attention. A lot of people was stuck and not unplugged from the Matrix. So y'all can't just sit and want to get unplugged from the Matrix 4 months away from the election. So we just gonna have to be stuck with Biden, regardless of how y'all feel about the whole Palestine thing, because we could sit out here and hey ho ho, Biden's got to go because of the whole Palestine situation. But if we haven't been able to change up shit during all the protests, what makes you think the 4 months from now is gonna be anything different? So I'm not a whole vote blue no matter who, because I'm angry just like everybody else. But what can we do? We're stuck with who we stuck with. It's either, you know, Weekend at Bernie's or the American Psycho. So it's a look at all of Europe as a whole. The prime ministers are usually young. And I think people want somebody young. I mean, the only one I can think of that I guess would be like charismatic, very good looking, whatever. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a good looking man. He kind of gives John F. Kennedy tease in regards to like the whole aesthetic. Although I didn't like the whole thing where he said recently about keep our heads down and whatever happened with the whole thing, we just got to keep pushing forward. And it was just very much like maybe he was saying that because, you know, he wants to be the presidential nominee 4 years from now. I would have liked Pete Buttigieg to be the president, but I don't know if America's ready for a homosexual to be running the country. Two men, you know, the way, especially the way these Christians, these hypocritical Christians be acting, they'd really lose their shit. You think America was mad because we had a black man running the country for 8 years? Having two homosexuals running it? Oh, they definitely popped their damn top. I mean, of course, me being a homosexual, I'd be here for it. If we could be progressive. But people are so set in their hatred. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let me get off my political high horse. Keep moving with the show. And let's talk about Hennifer, who apparently is going through some things because they said she is seeking some good old revenge on Ben Affleck. Now, another thing I want to say before we get to the show, before we get to the topic, excuse me, is I want to give a shout out to Ben's daughter, Violet, who has been going in on, you know, this whole COVID mandate situation, because I think if I'm not mistaken, we were having a conversation about what was it? We had a conversation about COVID, a new variant or something or another that was coming up. And so with that being said, you know, she's been the only one out of the whole Affleck family that's been walking around with a mask. I'm sure y'all probably seen all her pictures and stuff floating around on social media. I did see that she was in some, I don't know where she was, but she did speak before some political people. And she was talking about that she had gotten sick a couple of years ago and now she's pushing for a mask mandate because, you know, people are still getting sick out here. A lot of people truly believe in their heart of hearts that this whole COVID situation is over. COVID ain't going nowhere. There's always going to be different variants. There's always going to be certain situations that's going to keep coming up, regardless of the media and everybody don't want to talk about it because they don't want to scare nobody. A lot of people are going to the doctor and finding out they're getting COVID, they're getting RSV, and all kinds of respiratory issues that's going on. So kudos to her for going out here and, speaking in regards to, COVID mask mandates. Hold on. I saw this picture of J-Lo and Ben. I'm going to pull it up because I'm in the mood to be messy. It's an old picture. But I'm like, okay, let's put that up there. Like, I don't know how she tolerate all that cigarette smoke. Well, I guess once they get the divorce, she ain't going to have to deal with it much longer. Well, first of all, they ain't been living together for a while, so she ain't got to deal with his habits. The cigarettes, the Starbucks. I mean, not Starbucks. He drinks Dunkin' Donuts. He drinks so much goddamn Dunkin' Donuts, he's doing commercials with them. So once upon a time, J-Lo sang that her love don't cost a thing. Well, apparently it does when you're a scorned woman, because the triple threat is reportedly seeking financial retribution from Ben Affleck, targeting his $150 million fortune. Now, jilted Jennifer Lopez is taking revenge on Ben where it hurts, his wallet. So the singer, who's 54, is singing a different tune and doing some Big Bill hunting. Not Big Bill hunting. Shout out to Radar Online for the shade. After realizing she picked up most of the tab for Bennifer 2.0's lavish A-list lifestyle. Now, I did say that I wasn't going to talk about Jennifer no more. I was going to take a break, but sorry. This tea was too damn juicy. I couldn't pass it up. So I'm going to just stop for now on saying I'm not going to talk about somebody, because the minute I say that, here this shit come. So it says that now she wants half of her almost ex's $150 million fortune. First of all, she greedy as hell, because Jennifer is worth $400 million. So why the hell is she out here trying to get his money when she worth $400 million? Well, she did have to spend that on that horrible ass "This Is Me" campaign, where she spent $20 million on a musical none of us asked for. Now, according to the report, it said during their marriage, cheapskate Ben, 51, always grumbled about spending money. Well, if you're going to be like that, then I guess we're not going anywhere, because you can sit your ass in the house. But if I'm going on a trip, if I want to do a trip to Cabo, if I want to do a trip to Italy, if I want to eat at the Ivy, if I want to go to the Ivy is one of the most expensive hot spots and stuff in LA, if you want to actually be seen and have your picture and stuff taken. If you want to go to like an expensive restaurant, if you want to go on extravagant trips, if you want to take a private jet or whatever the case is, and your ass is going to be a cheapskate, your ass sitting home, I'm going to go out and have me a good old time, because I'm putting it on my card. So if you're going to be cheap like that, and first of all, if she was paying that kind of money, knowing if her husband was cheap, first of all, she a dummy for doing that. Because I'd be damned if I'm going to be somebody's sugar mama when we both out here working in Hollywood making our coins. Now, of course, Jennifer was making her money from her other, business endeavors. Like when she had which I didn't know about this until I found this out recently, the Lola alcohol line that she came out with. I don't know many people who drink it. If you drink it, drop it down in the comments. Let me know how it tastes. But the Dolola stuff, Miss Delulu with her Dolola, and then the cosmetic stuff, the makeup and all the other things that she was doing, like the skincare and all the other stuff. What I didn't know is A-Rod was the one that was putting up the money for that. So he was getting in partnership with her and introducing her to the people that she needed to get with in order to get this stuff up and going. And on top of that, I didn't know he had a hand in A-Rod, is what I'm talking about now, that he had a hand in getting her the Super Bowl deal, which, because she can't sell out arenas, they had to bring in Shakira, which I was like, wait a minute, Jennifer Lopez is a big star. Why would she need to be a co-sign? But now, fast forward, let's have our That's So Raven flash into the future moment. Now we're looking at the situation of she couldn't sell out arenas. The people over there at the Super Bowl knew some shit that we didn't know. Apparently, Jennifer's name is not big enough that she could, get people excited for the Super Bowl. So they had to get her with Shakira. And I know that was a bruise on her ego, but sis, you ain't putting, like we've said many times on this show, you haven't really put in enough of the work to solidify yourself at a space where we could be interested in, you getting your music on the level of a Beyonce, a Taylor Swift, a Madonna, a Lady Gaga, Kylie Minogue, or those international or national, these A-list celebrity pop acts. You haven't put it in. You put more work into your movies than you have your music. You treated music like it was a hobby. So I can totally understand. And at the time I didn't see it, but now that we see it, we know. So it says one of the little known secrets is Hennifer paid for much of their marital expenses, and now she feels he owes her. This is what the spy said. She's adding up all those private jet bills she put on her plastic, the hotels and meals, clothes, coffee runs, and gas. Child, she was out here paying for the Dunkin' Donuts. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I actually like Starbucks. The high cost of living was done on her dime. She paid the lion's share for that $60 million mansion they bought as well. Ben took so much money out of her, at least that's what she's saying. But the couple's rumor split after only 2 years of marriage has opened J-Lo's eyes to how much the Gone Girl star mooched off her, and she's out for recompense. This is according to the Mole, saying that she's demanding a full inventory of what she spent versus what he spent and wants all the money back she invested. She isn't the one who gave up on the marriage, and she's feeling seriously burned and is out for blood. This is what another snitch huffed. If he had stayed in the marriage like a good boy, she wouldn't have. Child, I cannot believe y'all went there with that. It was like, well, if he would have stayed in the marriage like a good boy, what is he, a dog? She wouldn't have minded. But he abandoned her, and ultimately, Hennifer always gets payback. And now she's ready to play hardball. But here's the thing. How much is she going to be able to get out of him? Especially because if she's the one that said that she was the breadwinner, whatever the case was. First of all, I don't know if they have an ironclad prenuptial agreement. I hope y'all signed a prenuptial agreement and she didn't think that, okay, that she also knew another one like Erica Mena who got the magic coochie that's going to get this man to just change, his ways. But like I always say, a leopard never changes his spots. So I really hope that she wasn't out here thinking that he was going to change himself for her. But I did say that, you know what? He love bombed her. He the one that gave her the book of all the love letters and all the other stuff for Christmas, I believe. And she used that as inspiration and as a storyboard for the This Is Me Now album, which we see flopped. And I think he was upset because she took a lot of their personal stuff and incorporated it into the album that nobody cared about. And he realized it didn't work, and he didn't like that their privacy was being violated. But then again, I'm sitting there thinking like, well, if she's the breadwinner, then couldn't he actually, when the divorce situation happened, couldn't he take more money out of her? Because they're going to look at it as, oh, well, financially, you are the one who makes more money. And to me, in the 2 years of their relationship, I can't think of, was Ben Affleck in anything in the 2 years that they was married? I can't think of it off the top of my head. The only thing I can think of is that he's been working on The Accountant too. Hennifer has come out with an album, had to cancel a tour, and released 2 movies in the 2 years. Or maybe it was more. But all I can think of is she had Atlas that came out, I believe, last month or maybe 2 months ago. And then before that, she had The Mother. But I think she also released a movie or something another on Prime Video. There was the romantic comedy movie that she did. What was it called? Shotgun Wife or something or another, the one with Josh Duhamel. But I'm not sure if that actually was done before she got with Ben or whatever the case was. So I don't know if it was shot in that 2-year period or that was when she was with A-Rod. So I can't think of the timeline off the top of my head, but she's the one that's been really out here working and making the coins while Ben wasn't really doing nothing except looking grumpy, smoking his cigarettes, moping, and drinking his goddamn Dunkin' Donuts coffee. So that's the only thing I can think of in regards to that part. So, sis, if you feel like, that you could be able to get something out of this whole situation, then if you got a case, if this is true, then we'll see. But I did also hear, to add to the story, they said she found an unexpected ally in Ben's ex, Jennifer Garner, amid her marital woes with Ben, saying that Jennifer has been an unexpected ally for Hennifer as the latter's divorce for Ben Affleck looms. The actresses have been really friendly and are relating to each other during Lopez's marital woes. This is according to Us Weekly, and they reported this yesterday, saying that Garner has been very helpful to Hannaford, and they're calling the 13 going on 30 star, who's 52, a surprising person for Lopez, 54, to talk to. Child, and they said that Page Six reached out to the reps, like they're gonna tell you. But I find it funny, like, I wonder, like, damn, see, Ben, what the hell you do? So now, allegedly, you got both the wives, you got the wife and the ex-wife joining forces. It ain't nothing like a woman scorn. And you know hopefully Jennifer is not talking shit to the point where Hannaford could use it against you in the court of law when it comes down to the divorce. So I hope like she's really treading lightly on that whole situation, because at the end of the day, Jennifer Garner has children with Ben, whatever their situation was at the time, because I seen like one picture, let me find it, of Ben with Jennifer Garner, and they look like they was deep in thought. So I'm like, well, damn, does Ben always be intense when it comes to the, you know, when it comes to getting in conversations with the women that he's in a relationship, with? Ben give me somebody that just like hard to love. He's probably like me. We destined to be single. Like getting in a relationship with someone is probably not the best idea. Like if you want to go and get it in and get out, like sex and stuff, that'll work. But as far as like a relationship goes, I don't think Ben is meant to be in a relationship with anybody. So there you have it. Hannaford out here struggling with her man. I feel sort of for them. Oh my God, I closed one of my videos. So I still this the same. What do y'all think of this story? Are y'all feeling bad for Hannaford? I mean, quiet as kept, I'm not, because I'm like, Chad, how many times you gonna ride this, take this ride at the rodeo? When it comes to your relationships with the men that you be in relationships with, you always seem to be, it seems like this merry-go-round of mess that you always get in these relationships with these men, and you thinking things is gonna change, and then come to find out it's not. So whatever y'all think of this story, let me know in the comments down below. Okay. It's like, oh, I need to close that. And I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute, but I gotta go. I just realized I messed up because I closed one of the things. I had to pull up the Tamar and JR situation. I closed his mugshot because I was gonna yeah, I live for a mugshot, champ. So now I gotta look for it. So that way, not JT. I said J.R. Robinson. But I gotta do Tamar. See, now I gotta do this live because I had this shit ready. Ooh, Lord, not him. Who that? It was this man that looked a mess. Okay, so now I found it. He couldn't open his eye, but that wasn't her man though. Okay, so now we got comments. And they said UK elections is an inspiration to do elections. It's by parties, not people. Labour Party got the most votes, and the leader is the prime minister. Well, I wish we could do stuff like that here. I mean, look, America, y'all used to colonizing from other places. Why we can't colonize other people's policies? We need to, because y'all sitting there, all the things the forefathers came up with, y'all just going against it. I'm sure George Washington them is rolling over in their grave, saying Musk is removing groomer as why? Because he is one. And they said he also announced unless blacks and gays stop using words they can use, N-word isn't a slur. He is such a damn colonizer. They should have took his ass out during the apartheid. So they said the C word towards women isn't a slur neither. Yeah, okay. He is trash. And they said that's why he looked the way he looked. I said basically you want it forbidden on my platform. Don't take it back because that's gatekeeping. Who didn't see this divorce? Okay, she didn't. We all saw it. It was like, child, this relationship ain't gonna last because when you're a grade A narcissist, you can never make a relationship work. And it said if Madonna had to pay close to 150 million to Guy Ritchie, if there's no prenup, she's looking at giving him. That's why I said, first of all, I don't believe the whole thing about how. I mean, she could, just to entertain it, she could go and try to get half his fortune, but he clearly makes less than her, and that's only because Ben Affleck is an actor and a director and a screenwriter. So he's going to make his money from whatever he's doing in Hollywood. He's not out here doing endorsement. Now, he did do a commercial, whatever. I'm sure he's done commercials, which is what actors do. And he did a commercial for Dunkin' Donuts and many other things that he's done over the years. He's accumulated money from that. But he's not somebody like a Hennifer is somebody who is not only a actress and a singer and does things in Hollywood, she's also a brand person. She's no different. She's like Kim Kardashian, but just she has acting cred. She didn't get it because, she didn't get acting roles because of who she is. That was her bread and butter. That was her foundation. She studied and all other stuff. Now, you can question her level if she's a good actress or not. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But her foundation has always been acting. And she found a way to accumulate acting, music, and then doing all the things like the clothing line and makeup and all that. So, and perfumes and all that other stuff. So she's been out here selling product, which is how she was able to get more money. It didn't come straight from the music and the movies. So that's how she became, worth $400 million. Now, if it come down to it, she's going to be a 200 millionaire because if Ben really want to be shady and go and clap back, he would be the one that would get the money because he makes less. So like you said, if Madonna had to pay a shit ton to Guy Ritchie, which caused her to extend the, which tour was it? It wasn't Rebel Heart. It was Sticky and Sweet. If she had to go and extend that tour so that way she could make that money back. And one thing about Madonna's always been able to make her coin from doing these tours. She's always laid the foundation of like the whole tour situation. Say what now? This better be a damn lie. So they're gonna have Kim Kardashian replace Vanna White? I said, I hate Ryan because remember at one point he low-key ran E during, and they're going to chill. I'd rather y'all put Stormy up there before y'all put, as in the child of Kylie. Have her flip them damn letters, not no damn Kim. But I would not be surprised. First of all, I remember I had a conversation with my mother when I called her, and she was like, she watches Wheel of Fortune. She was like, when Pat Sajak leaves, she said, I'm not watching that show. She don't like Ryan. I don't think a lot of people do quite as is kept. But that's who y'all want to pick to be the next generation or whatever, then that's who y'all going to be stuck with. Because all the old people watch Wheel of Fortune. But anyway, so they said, J-Lo is used to paying for her. Okay, because that ain't the first time she paid for a man. She was taking care of Chris Judd for the time they was together. I'm sure she was footing the bill for when she was with the waiter, Ohani. And I'm sure when Casper was laying down that pipe with her and allegedly them chicks with a little something extra, if you know what I'm saying. I think you do, because they said that Casper liked the T-girls. That's why they broke up. He was out here sexing the T-girls. So, allegedly, I'm gonna say that. But because I'm sure that you was taking care of him too. Like, you was making more money, and I feel like that's what she would do in between. So when she was getting with these men, and no shade, but I truly felt that this is always what it was when it came to Hennifer. She only got with men that could benefit her financially. She got with Diddy because he helped her with the music and got her to get that street cred because she was born in Castle Hill, the suburb. She was not born in the hood. So yeah, people think when you in the Bronx that all the Bronx is the same. It's not. And it's even been gentrified. So yeah, there's some parts of the Bronx that's still ratchet, but there's some parts of the Bronx that's suburban. And she lived in the suburban part of the Bronx in a house. Because remember, she went and took the visit with MTV and the man didn't even know her. See, Mariah ain't the only one that didn't know who she was. The man that lived in her house ain't know who the bitch was either. And proceeded to take a picture with him. Cause photo ops. Hannaford got to feel like she, got to pretend she from the block and she's just like one of us and all that mess. So she got with Diddy for the music. Then after that, Chris Judd, okay, choreographer or whatever the case was. Now I get to play because everything was strictly business. So now I could play with the type of man that I get with. Then it's like, I can't remember all the ones, but then of course you get with A-Rod. A-Rod helped with the business, which we talked about earlier, that he was able to, allegedly, the word is that he got her a lot of those deals with the Dolola and the skincare line and all that other stuff because of the people he knows, and as well as the Super Bowl deal. So then after that, then of course, I truly believe that she got with Ben Affleck. Yeah, even though she was an actress, she wanted to be taken seriously. She wanted to get in them rooms and really be solidified as an A-list star. Because you was doing rom-coms or whatever the case was, and it was cute, but she wanted to get higher in the place. And when you get in them rooms with the elites, and Ben Affleck gives you Harvard, Yale, very uppity, upper echelon white man, he's gonna get you in them rooms with them people. Because Ben Affleck plays with the big boys. And yeah, you being on his arm, I guess they'll take you seriously because he's fucking you. So that's the way I seen it when it come to her. I've always felt like she only got in relationships whenever it was, if it suited her, career-wise. But I do believe that because we've always seen his facial expressions that them Leos, they do got a temper. Trust and believe. I know a lot of Leos that I'm related to. My grandmother was a Leo. My father's a Leo. I got a lot of cousins that's a Leo. My aunt's a Leo. Her daughter's a Leo. So glad I'm Virgo. I was like, Chad, don't make me a Leo. But anyway, since we talking about Hannaford and we were talking about Diddy earlier, let's get into this Diddy story. Wait, did I even make the? Oh yeah. Oh wait a minute. Okay, I do have the. Yeah, let me get to the Diddy story. I thought I closed the thing with Tamar. I didn't. I had to open. I think I confused myself for a point. But anyway, take two. Action. Let's get into the Diddy story, where Cassie's attorney is apparently going in on him because he's out here living his best damn life. And I don't know if y'all seen the picture, but you see his old wide ass on going whitewater rafting, living his best life, while Cassie out here, taking care of her family and everything. But there's people out here who have been allegedly, based on the reports, hurt by him. I did see a video or something or another, and I should have watched it. Shout out to Tisa Tales, because I saw that she posted something where they was talking about the Breakfast Club is trying to help clear Diddy. I said, I know these old that slow trio over there is not trying to stick their nose in the Diddy situation, because if that's what y'all trying to do over there's somebody need to dig into all of y'all. Like, first of all, y'all all problematic. They always like to bring up Charlamagne Pass about that assault that happened back in the day. And then DJ Envy, what's going on with the whole lawsuit with him and the stealing the people money, the whole real estate scheme. And don't get me started on Just Hilarious. So Cassie, who filed a lawsuit in November 2023 accusing Diddy, who's 54, of physical and SA throughout their relationship, reacted to photos of the rapper in a whitewater rafting trip late last month via her lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, saying, I don't think whitewater rafting will prepare him for the choppy waters that lie ahead, Wigdor told TMZ on Tuesday, July 9th. Us Weekly has reached out to Diddy and Cassie's teams for comment. Well, look, why would you really ask for comment when the lawyer just gave you one? So Diddy denied all the allegations in Cassie's lawsuit before settling the case one day after it was fired, which we all knew was some BS, because if it was all a lie, that what she said, and there was a lot of y'all out here that was calling her a liar, because a lot of y'all benefited from Diddy, or y'all love protecting abusers, per usual, just about the regular folks, and then there was the celebrities that jumped in on the situation where y'all should just stayed out of grown folk business. Then we saw months later the video footage of him beating her up in the hotel hallway, that he clearly paid someone a lot of money, they said $50K, to give them the footage so that way he wouldn't be found out. So we all knew he was lying, because I've always said Diddy was the devil. And it was so glad that when that video footage leaked, that we got to see that I was right. And I hate being right in those situations, but I've always said Diddy was the devil. So following the video's release, Diddy apologized for his inexcusable behavior, which was some BS. And then all of a sudden, if you go on his Instagram, I haven't been on there since, but since the report came out a couple of weeks ago, he scrubbed his entire IG, including the apology, which we all said was BS. Everything that came out that man's mouth is BS. So the outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning. DV is the issue. This is what Cassie wrote via her Instagram in May, saying, "It broke me down as someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I'm better today, but I will always be recovering from my past, as I truly believe will be most people who are in abusive relationships, men and women." So now, earlier this week, Diddy shared his first IG story since deleting all photos and videos from the account. On Friday, July 5th, he posted a clip of himself walking around his private plane. Another one who just like completely oblivious, narcissistic, just totally clueless into all this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just show y'all I'm living my best life, even though I may end up going to jail for the rest of my life. So now another one of Diddy's alleged victims, Adria English, who filed a lawsuit last month claiming that the musician groomed her into trafficking, reacted to the video via her attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. After seeing defendant Combs whitewater rafting and jetting around in his personal plane, seemingly enjoying life despite all the atrocities he has caused and has been accused of by countless individuals over decades, Mrs. English is even more motivated to ensure justice prevails. This is what Mitchell Kidd told TMZ on Tuesday. Mrs. English and all of the other plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits throughout the country against defendant Combs are individuals with limited resources fighting for justice after being marginalized, abused, and exploited by a billionaire. Well, the word on the street is he's fighting, he's got limited resources too. Yet he out here living his best life. Now, the recent allegations against Diddy, multiple other women have come forward accusing the mogul of misconduct in recent months, which he has denied, which we all know is a damn lie, have all had consequences. Last month, Miami Beach revoked the proclamation of Sean Diddy Combs Day after a unanimous vote by city commissioners. And then, of course, we got that old piece of trash, Mayor Eric Adams, also revoked Diddy's key to the Big Apple after seeing the video of him assaulting Cassie. Well, he didn't do it that fast. It took him a while to all of a sudden even come to that conclusion because he's slow just as well. But, he more worried about people putting garbage in garbage cans rather than dealing with a lot of the issues that we got going on in New York. Because he's another one that's slow, like I said. So, at the end of the day, hold on, because I need to put this up. Because, whenever we have some situations, we got to put that up there. So if any of y'all got any situations going on, if you've been assaulted, abused, or anything of that nature, call that number. But also, what I need to do is we have this one, because there's another thing that I want to start adding to the show. But we have this. Look, if you got somebody who's got a little DV situation, call that number. I try to help out whichever way I can because it ain't easy being out here being abused. Like, we had a situation where we was talking about, I think I just talked about it in passing, where you got Bad Baby and her bum-ass baby father who putting the paws on her, and he came out with something on his social media trying to victim blame, whatever the case is, and then people was talking about how she was gonna go back with him, and they was dragging her. She said she never said that, but here's the thing. When you come from a place of you're a product of abuse, when you've constantly seen that and you grew up in that environment, some people look at that as a form of love because they don't know no other, they don't know what real love is. They think somebody putting their hands on them is a form of love and support, and it's not. So I'm glad that Cassie came forward and said what she needed to say about the situation and went in on Diddy and that whole situation. And now, his shit has been put out, on Front Street, as it should. So yeah, I want to show y'all this picture. One of them little crusty ass feet he got. So he out here living his best life while everybody out here struggling. And that's sad that this is something that, these people out here, when you have limited resources, you have David going up against Goliath, but people want to sit out and use their money or whatever the case is. It's like, oh yeah, I get to live my best life. And this is the main thing that we want to focus on: accountability. People need to be held accountable for their behavior and their actions and the things that they do to people. And justice is coming. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but justice is coming for his ass. And we're going to sit by and see what happens when it does. Because look, I saw that they were live streaming the Alec Baldwin Rust case on YouTube. I was watching a little bit of it earlier. So that's going down with that. And I guess we'll find out probably tomorrow, whatever the case is, what's going to happen with that. I don't know how long that trial's going to be with that case and what's going to happen with him. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. When it happens, we'll talk about it on the show. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this whole situation with Diddles? Y'all can't wait until that man get what's coming to him? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now we have comments. It said they are all into it, but having kids, how can you abuse kids? Would you like it if it was yours? No, I don't like when people get, kids get beat and all the other stuff. I don't like any kind of abuse of any kind, if it's a child or if it's an adult. Not Lindsay talking about, ooh. Okay, so, all right, let's move on. And let's talk about Tamar Chair and this mess that's going on with her and that bum that she keeps being in a relationship with. So I do want to pull up the mug. Oh wait, I forgot. Shout out to the Shade Room. They had the mug shot. Because after this, we got to talk about Justin Timberlake and his mug shot. But please hold as I pull that up because I didn't even see that one. So yeah, there go his mug shot chair. So Jeremy Robinson, aka JR, ran into a legal problem, saying it was reported that the fiancé of Tamar Braxton was recently arrested for drinking under the influence before he was released on bond. The Queen's Court alum was allegedly charged with 3 misdemeanor charges, including willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and driving under the influence of alcohol. He was arrested and released the same day. Details of the arrest are currently unknown. It is unclear when exactly it took place. Because, yeah, I was hearing that it happened last month, but we just now finding out about it. Like, I found about this yesterday. I'm like, well, damn. It's either A, he ain't that interested in that we ain't talked about it, or that it just came out now, or they were just good at keeping it under wraps. Because, look, when Justin Timberlake got arrested, that shit came out immediately. When Travis Scott got arrested, I think it was like maybe a day or two later, the T came out with that. So we found out. I almost called him ASAP Rocky because them two kind of do look similar. But yeah, Kylie baby father was out here being a hot drunken mess. But they said upon catching one of the news, some internet users quickly slammed the attorney, saying, "You're an attorney and you get hit with a DWI? Ooh, child." One person commented. Another critic added, "He's doing everything except what he should be doing at this big age." Wait, how old is he? I don't know if it actually says how old JR is, but I may have to look that up. Someone, meanwhile, appeared to urge Tamar to leave JR, saying, "I really need some women to understand that it's okay to be by yourself and heal." Yes, it is. If we ain't talking about Hennepin, we're going to talk about Tamar. Because y'all don't know how to be by yourselves. You don't need to be with a man just because you don't want to be alone. SMH, she has a son. Hopefully this man ain't been around him. Oh, he has. Dude is crashing out. Take some time to yourself and get back focused. I seen this dude come up firsthand from New Orleans to here. Became they spell here HEAR. I cannot. Became a lawyer. Slow down, Jeremy, before you lose it all. Another commenter read, "Too old to be drinking and driving." That's what I said about Justin Timberlake. So the funny thing is, y'all can sit up here and talk, "You too old, your big age." It's probably because black people saying this versus the clear people over there that be windmilling for Justin. Talking about, well, it wasn't just them because it was that old, it was Mammy Gail Cause that's what she be acting like sometimes. The damn mammy was up there talking about, well, this is a one-time offense. We should all forgive him. We shouldn't be so hard and just then. You know how she be acting sometimes. It's like, girl, if you don't sit your dusty ass down somewhere and just continue going down on Oprah and stay out of grown people, grown people business. So it said, meanwhile, Tamar previously shared that she decided to keep low-key about her relationship with JR after they got back together, especially when it went all that drama that was going on with her and Tommy Lee. Saying, I'm not hiding anything, the Braxton Family Values star explained on Carlos King's Reality with the King. The truth of the matter is, JR and I decided we would keep our relationships completely private. No matter what the status is, we decided we wanted to keep it private from everyone. Now, as I stated before, because they said the Queen's Court alum, shout out to T.S. Madison, because that was the name of her show. But I guess because she ain't trademarked it, other people could use it. Excuse me. So, JR and Tamar, say that's, I'm a poet and I know it. They got together because they did that reality show, The Queen's Court, with Evelyn Lozada, who I dragged earlier, the show, and Nivea. So they got together on the show. She chose him. Then they broke up. Then they got back together on Christmas Day in 2023. They rekindled. I guess he proposed, and now they back together and all this other good stuff. So I do agree. You too big at your age to be out here drinking and driving. You know better in regards to the situation. I don't understand what is up with people. If y'all know y'all gonna be going out places and where you're gonna consume alcohol, why do y'all get behind the wheel and put your life and potentially other people's lives at risk? There's Ubers and Lyfts and things that exist for a damn reason. I just don't understand why a lot of y'all get behind the wheel. It's like, I don't understand. It's a lapse in judgment because when you're drinking, you're not thinking clearly. Clearly. But what the hell was a big ass fly? But I think I'm on The View. What it was like, but however, when it comes to situations like that, you got to think about yourself in that way. If I'm drinking, if I know I'm going to go out and drink, obviously I'm not going to drive my car. I'm going to either get in the car with a friend if I went with a friend, or if I'm going by myself, I'm going to get an Uber to the place. And when I get lit enough, I'm going to get on the app and I'm going to call an Uber and take my ass back to where the fuck I'm going. Because that's the smart thing to do. But clearly, these people at their big damn age, they just be out here doing stupidity. So I say, what do y'all think of this story? This don't need to be something that we need to spend a whole lot of time on because JR ain't that damn important. But because, he's affiliated with Tamar, that's why we talking about it. But then again, you know what? Tamar is a grown-ass woman. She could do whatever she want to do on her own time. This is the example she want to set, have his messy ass be around her son. That's on her. And we'll see if all of this ends up, if they haven't finished filming already, on the new season of the Braxtons. When is that coming on? Because didn't they say they're supposed to be they're supposed to be reviving the Braxtons with the same people, except minus Tracy, because Tracy passed away, unfortunately. She had cancer. So we'll see if this makes a show. If not, or if Tamar will address it, or if somebody, the next time she do an interview with someone or another, they'll ask her about it. I am curious also, is Tamar still doing Dish Nation? Because I know she was doing that at one point, but I don't know if she's still on there. Because I remember her and Jesse Wu had their issue at the time. I don't keep up with Dish Nature. I don't even watch a lot of those type of shows with the, the gossip shows on regular networks and stuff anymore. And I know Dish Nation is on Hulu, so I can watch it there. But I just don't care enough to sit through that show. So let me know regardless of what y'all think in the comments down below. Okay, so now speaking of which, since we was talking about Justin Timberlake, let's talk about him. So the tourists, y'all are messy. So apparently, after, it's been a month since Justin Timberlake's arrest for his DWI. So now they're talking about that tourists are flocking to the American Hotel in Sag Harbor to order some martinis on Justin's behalf because I guess, they want to be in the very place that he got lit at, that when he left, got in the car and got pulled over for drinking while under the influence. So I did find this as a cackle because I'm like, oh, y'all messy. Well, as either that or a lot of y'all are bored and just do this. So, people want to go out there to the American Hotel in Sag Harbor to get white girl wasted off of, the infamy, right in the back of Justin and his whole situation. I want y'all 15 minutes. Like, it was stated that was going to happen for everybody. Everybody's going to get their 15 minutes and so be it. So in the wake of the Justin Timberlake being arrested, it said tourists and party people are flocking to Sag Harbor establishment to sip the same cocktail that the disgraced sexy back singer enjoyed. We absolutely went to the American Hotel on purpose, said Daniel Evans, a 45-year-old who works in real estate, and visited the Hamptons from North Carolina at the end of June. The bartender knew right away what we wanted a martini, added his wife Jessica Evans, a 38-year-old who also works in real estate. She ordered a JT special. Other imbibers they encountered, she said, called it simply the Justin. All were very amused. Well, I said, if y'all really want to be clever, call the Justini. Y'all want to call it the Justin. It's like the Justini. Martini, Justini. That's a play on his name. That's a good way to market it. I do wonder what the Justini is. I forgot what kind of martini they said he ordered. Let's see if they mentioned it in the article. So it said, we were laughing a lot, said Jessica, who grew up in North Fort. The stop at the American Hotel, which is one of the few Timberlake tourism moments the couple had on their recent trip. The night before at Claudio's in Greenpoint, the pair found themselves dancing and drinking alongside Michael Arkeson, who's the cop that arrested Justin. Saying he was there partying, said Jessica, it was awesome. I guess we only hang out where famous people drink. Well, here's the thing. It's the Hamptons. You will run into a lot of celebrities out there, or people who are, reality star celebrities, people like Andy Cohen, Kelly Ripa, a lot of them, they're the ones, a lot of the New York staples, they go out to the Hamptons, in the summertime to party. The gays is the ones who will go to, well, you got the uppity gays like Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. They're going to go to the Hamptons because they'll be appreciated out there. If they were seen in Fire Island, the girls out there would kind of snicker at them because they're like, well, we don't like your kind. Same thing like when you hear Perez Hilton talk about that, the gays don't like him. With good reason, because based off his reputation in the past. So a lot of the gays don't F with him, just like a lot of the gays don't mess with people like Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. So they're going to go out there versus Fire Island. The people who are welcome in Fire Island is people like Adam Lambert, Jake Shears, who actually were out at Fire Island when I was out there. So they said the American Hotel did not respond to a request for comment for this story, and its bartender's a mum when asked explicitly about the Timberlake martini trend. A 30-something New Yorker who works in tech and asked to remain anonymous said she was met with stone-faced compliance when she looked a bartender squarely in the eye and declared, I want to bring sexy back. Well, child, I'd have looked at your ass funny too. Like, don't come to New York. And funny enough, she is a New Yorker. So, girl, you should know better. When you come out, you say that corniness to a bartender, we definitely going to give you the side eye. Like, don't come in here with that foolishness. And they said, but the masses haven't been deterred by a lack of humor behind the bar. Bob DeAndrea, who's 62, a longtime local who goes to the restaurant every Wednesday for unlimited lobster night. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I'd love to do an unlimited, I love me some seafood. So I'm like, if y'all had an unlimited lobster night, I'd have definitely been up in there for that. So, as we were talking about with Bob DeAndrea, they said that he keeps seeing people coming in for martinis and taking pictures in front of the hotel's famous brick exterior. He and his wife have dubbed them Justinis. Well, you want to know something? See, you were smart, Bob. You the one that called it a Justini, because I said that's what y'all need to be calling it. So you need to find a way to trademark that. There was just a lot of hype around Sag Harbor in the incident. I think it's really good for the town as long as we can get our table. Yeah, because I'd be the type of person that'd be tight. It's like, my table, I got my specific table. I got my specific situation. Y'all can't come up here, you colonizers that just want to come up in here on borrowed time and infiltrate the compound. Now you can come up in here and y'all can have y'all little fun as long as you don't, come on, trip over on mine. You don't infiltrate my situation. I get to go and I still get to have my table. I get to still eat the same thing I normally eat every Wednesday when I come up in here because it's lobster night. Just don't yuck my yum. Y'all stay over there and you have your little shots. You do your little Justini and you get lit and all the other stuff, and that's great. But don't come fuck with my stuff. So they said that there's just a lot of hype around Sag Harbor, the incident. It helps that the martini was already having a moment. Its icy booziness was key to helping New Yorkers get back to going out post-pandemic. And here's the thing: if y'all go and vote Trump in office, y'all we going back into a damn pandemic. Because you ain't gonna be able to have y'all. We finally 5 years later, we starting to finally get in the groove of getting out, having fun. Because they did say that July 4th weekend, that whole July 4th situation, this was the most people were traveling in like the last 5 years post pandemic. And I know because when I was going out to File, I was tight because I was on the Long Island Railroad and all these people with their damn luggage. I ain't never seen so many people getting on a train with luggage in my life. There was barely any space. I had to run to the first, because they said the first 6 cars was where they was going to cut off, open up to let people off if you was going to go to Sayville, get off at Sayville to go to Fire Island. I missed my damn stop because we was all the way in the back. I had to find space because it was so packed getting up in there. And people had their damn luggage on the floor. And I was like, okay. Now I was tight because I'm trying to run to the front and I ended up missing the stop. So there was a lot of people that was out there. So the tourist economy is starting to finally boom again. And we don't want to wind up ourselves in a whole financial crisis. So this whole situation is definitely bringing revenue into Sag Harbor. So it said that the cocktail's relatively high alcohol content ideal for lubricating potentially awkward social moments after months of isolation. The espresso martini has given many Gothamites a welcome jolt, and more recently, creative, sometimes strange riffs, martinis tasting of Capri salad or garlic bread have been surprisingly popular. Meanwhile, the American Hotel, which dates back to 1846, has seen it all over the years. Wife Jessica Evans had never visited before. Despite growing up nearby, she said her dad recently revealed a wild night he once experienced there. Saying he went to the American Hotel 30 years ago and got really drunk and had his keys taken away and fell asleep. When he woke up, he was at Jimmy Buffett's house. When I heard that story, I was like, we have to go check out this place. So now, after getting a drink at the hotel, some Timberlake fans are stopping next door at the Romany Cremorris Gallery. There, as first reported by Page 6, they're selling a $520 Warhol-esque print called Tuesday Night Out that heavily inspired by the singer's mugshot. Now, here's the thing. Now, I know a friend that said that he can, you could take pictures of things and turn it into a porch or whatever. I think I want to do that. I was definitely here for this. I don't know if y'all seen it, but yeah. So there's the picture of, they turned his mugshot into an Andy Warhol export. And, I was thinking earlier, I was like, wait a minute, who's the one that said that everybody's going to have their 15 minutes of fame? It was Andy Warhol. And it seemed like he was right. But I would live to have something like that in my house, with a picture similar, like in a Warhol-esque photo of Madonna and a Warhol-esque photo of Justin's mugshot. That's the only time you're going to get Justin on my wall, is via the mugshot. In this way, I feel like this was highly creative. So, I was going to say, the people out here, they getting their life over this. This is a cackle. And I'm here for it. It's like, look, if this situation is going to help the economy briefly, because I feel like after this year, Sag Harbor will go back to what it was before. Everybody ain't going to be out here really doing the whole tourism thing off the whole Justin situation. So look, there's always something that comes out of this at the end. People are going to turn this into like a touristy attraction. It's the same way like that stupid stairwell in the Bronx. Like after the Joker movie, there was so many people visiting that stairwell. It was annoying. So I said this to say, are y'all here for this Justini? Have y'all tried the Justini? Have some of you been out to Sag Harbor to capitalize on this moment? Just to say that y'all was there and y'all got to have the drink. You got stories to tell your kids and your grandkids down the road. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so we have a comment and said the gays don't like Andy Anderson because of Catholic. I know, and the thing that irritated me, and hold on. My friend Ray Diesel, and I love you, honey, but he gave his comment and I gave mine. But he was like, oh, she's bitter and all this other stuff because of what she said. I mean, because of Andy. Andy done moved on. I said, yeah, of course they do. Because Andy's a heartless prick. He's always been that way. Stepped all over people to get to the success that he has. which I think is why people kind of look at him and Justin Timberlake as the same. You know, typical privileged white male who has stepped over a lot of people to get what they want, has been misogynist towards women, misogynistic, fetishizes young black men, based on some of the friends I know who slept with him, and you know, that sort of thing. So a lot of people don't like them because it was like she looked at Anderson Cooper as a friend who threw her under the bus, you know, the moment that whole situation happened with the whole Donald Trump head thing. And we've seen the Trump campaign do worse stuff in regards of how they treated and talked down to people. So when she came up with that whole head situation, all of a sudden everybody was outraged. That was the thing. You can't do that. But he's done 10 times worse. He's threatened people's lives, but that's fine. That's funny. We could all laugh at that. And when she came up with the fake head, all of a sudden, you know, let's end her life. Let's end her career. Let's do all that other stuff. She's a comedian. That's what they do. I'm not saying it's right, but free speech, right? Which they trying to get rid of with Project 2025. You got to keep bringing that up so people understand how real it is. So at the end of the day, yeah, she has a right to feel how she feels because she got burnt. You know, she did something. Yeah, it was a gaffe. It was a mistake, I guess, whatever. But the way that people treat you in these situations, and when she brought up, I saw that recent clip that's been floating around a lot where she went in and dragged Andy Cohen, made a booger sugar joke. And but she said he's probably busy doing blow. And then Wendy was like, made that face. I wish I'd have had that clip so I could show y'all. But I posted it in my stories on IG. And then, you know, from that is when my friend was like, oh, she's just bitter or whatever the case was. And I'm like, she has a right to feel bitter because of the way she was treated. And it's like the way she was dogging on the stuff and how she said that he offered her drugs. And I said, I knew about the whole booger sugar stuff with Andy long before Kathy Griffin talked about it. And when she mentioned it out in public, I was like, everything she said, I believe, because I've heard those stories before y'all, you know, before it became public knowledge. I had heard the stories. So if I was scorned by some people and celebrities or whatever, I feel like I should be able to feel the way I feel. And it's like, yeah, he's living his best life. He's moved on because, yeah, there's people that are like that. There are people that are just stone cold and just, you know, what I don't care if as long as it don't affect me, I don't give a fuck how you feel. That's sociopath. You know, people who are sociopathic in that way, that's how they feel or that's how they do. They just, you know, as long as it don't fuck up their situation, they move on. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get into this story because remember the guy who, you know, the homeless man who went viral for living in a storage unit. So now he's gone viral again because his girlfriend, who child, y'all are shady, they call her Honey Boo Boo. And when you see, you'll know why. So they said Honey Boo Boo went back to her family and she got, you know, because she got tired of the mess. So he's upset because his girlfriend left him to go back home with the family, saying he knew what he was doing. He chose to be homeless because he don't want to live by nobody's rules. He want to be out in the streets, living his life, homeless, and she got tired. She don't want to live that life. If that's what you want to do with yourself, then that's great. But she said, I'm tired. Like, I did this with you long. I said, child, you're a better woman than me because I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up out here and be in these streets trying to figure out how I'm going to wash my ass, how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to do all kinds of things to support myself. Like, who wants to be homeless? Especially when didn't the Supreme Court just make it illegal for people to even be homeless? Like, that's a federal crime now or something or another? So we got the clip. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for putting this out here because I saw it this morning. I'm going to play the clip and then we're going to talk.
What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Push, 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 push. Figure that shit out, dog. You got legs, you got arms, you got a brain, you got money. Figure that shit out. Figure that shit out, yo. And stop fucking bitching, dog. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not bitching, I'm not complaining about shit. I chose this shit. I knew what the fuck I was getting into. My dad said you had to get on the fucking streets. Okay, Brianna's parents said you can't come here. They said that you can't live here. So I'm gonna have to stay outside unless I go follow what they want me to fucking do. I don't want to follow nobody's rules. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Push, push, push. shit out, dog. You got legs, you got arms, you got a brain, you got money. Figure that shit out. Fuck. I follow my own rules. I follow my own rules. I do what I want to do out of my life. I don't cross nobody's boundaries. I don't hurt nobody. I just want to do what I want to do. And I ain't gonna hurt nobody. If anything, I'll hurt myself. And I'm done doing that too. Fuck! I follow my own rules.
And it's the old video when they were living in the storage unit.
Because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare.
I feel like that was dangerous, that what they was doing. Like, how you cooking in a storage unit? You don't even know, like, if that place has all the protections in place for you to even be cooking or doing all kinds of other stuff in there. And yeah, because he went and put that out there, he ended up getting kicked out because the video went viral. And you should have known that, you know, once things go viral and once things end up on social media, that it's only a matter of time that whoever runs that storage unit was going to find out and kick your ass out in the street. So I don't know if this is mental health or whatever cases, because, you know, everybody be so quick to jump on the whole mental health bag. But it's great that you chose this life and you want to be homeless because you don't want to follow rules and you want to just live the life of, you know, a hobosexual, you know, somebody who is without a home. It's fun. It's great that you want to live this life and this is what you chose to do. However, if you're going to bring someone else into the situation, I don't know, was she pregnant? Because I could have sworn I heard a story that she was going to be a mother or whatever the case is. If you have to, once you start getting in a relationship with someone, or if you even try to bring children into this equation, you got to think about them. And I understand, like, rent is high and crazy stuff, because trust and believe, as someone who pays rent, they're out of control with the rent hikes. Every damn year, y'all want to raise an extra $50 or whatever the case is. Like, y'all just be doing the real estate corporations and all this other stuff. So I understand, like, with all of this stuff going on, it's crazy, whatever. But you decided to do this. She didn't want to live this life, and I applaud her actually for staying as long as she did. But it's just like, you know what? I can't. Like, everybody's got their breaking point. And instead of you over there trying to break chairs, you need to be and breaking fools. You need to figure out why you are in the situation that you are in, and everybody ain't gonna be able to put up with the things you put up with. So of course, people was in the comments. Some people said, I know she slept like a newborn fresh out the womb in that air when she got to her parents' house. Another person put, at least he let her leave and didn't harm her because he looked a little unhinged. Well, that is good that happened, because, you know, there'd be people out here that be doing all kinds of crazy stuff when women try to leave a situation. Jerome Trammell said, this man told us we were being controlled because we have jobs/careers, and then proceeded every day to ask our controlled selves for money. Because I was sitting out here wondering, okay, so how was he getting his coins? Because if you out here begging, then it's like, wait a minute. So you asking me, that a person who actually works for their money, to give you my hard-earned money because the establishment is controlling us, but you need my controlled establishment ass to support you? Okay. Well, you're just going to have to keep being broke. And they said, women want a leader. You want a leader. You not about to keep leading me outside, though. Another person put, giving yourself a motivational speech to remain homeless is wild. Another person put, that little fan around his neck ain't keeping him cool enough. This is heat anger. I know, because I get this mad just from walking to the car. Another person put, he's spiraling. He really don't want to be homeless no more. You can tell. Well, if he don't want to be homeless no more, then he need to figure out a way to like try to find some resources or whatever the case to help him get out of the situation that he's in. I'm sure there's a couple of enough government establishments where I be seeing in New York that I be seeing people out here like volunteers or whatever who like homeless patrol, whatever the case is, that be trying to help people get off the street or find somewhere to stay because first of all, them train station platforms, it'd be OD hot. And we already be angry as it is with some of the train cars being hot because not all of them, be cool enough for everybody to be sitting there, especially if you going to the Bronx, whatever the case was. I remember I had one of my friends the other day was talking about how he was on the train and everybody was big mad because a lot of the cars was hot. I was like, okay, y'all need to figure out what the hell's going on with these train cars instead of worrying about New Yorkers putting their trash in the goddamn garbage can, like, and then keep raising the damn hikes on the train, the car fare on the trains and stuff. Yeah, we got our issues in New York too with this slow ass mayor we got, but hopefully this guy gets the help that he needs because it do seem like that it's a mental health situation that he's spiraling out of control, and I hope that he actually decides, you know what, it's dangerous out in these streets. I'm sure he's found a way he's been able to accumulate and take care of himself while he's out here in the street. But if there's a way for you to get out of this situation, then use the resources you can. Because I could have sworn like when he went viral the first time, were there people out there that was trying to help him get on his feet or get out of this? Because he did say in the first video, the one that went viral where he got kicked out of the thing, that he eventually wants to save to get an RV, which I know RVs ain't cheap. Or get like one of those little homes or whatever the case is. So hopefully he's able to get out of this situation. But it just seemed like to me he's not trying to get out of that. So regardless, I just want to know what y'all think of this story. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so it said she's been Janet Jackson. Yeah. As her career never really recovered because she took the apology back. Here's the thing, but she has been back out here on the road. Like Kathy Griffin actually got to be on The View. Was a couple of months ago. So slowly but surely her career is making a comeback. I mean, I'd rather come back from her than some damn Ellen. Why was he living there? Is that legally allowed? Well, you talking about like the what do you call it? The storage unit? He wasn't allowed. He was actually he was the storage unit when that story came out a while back. I don't remember exactly when that story broke. It might have been like maybe last year, beginning of this year. When he was living in the storage unit, the people that owned the storage unit did not know he was living there. His dumb ass decided to record himself and post it on social media, and he went viral, and they found out, and they kicked him and his girlfriend out. Based on the video and stuff that we saw of him spazzing out, the latest video, who knows where that is? He probably was living outside. And being that it's summertime, you could be out in the street and it not be a big deal and probably staying in a tent or whatever the case is. But who wants to live that life? Who wants to be sitting out in, the wilderness trying to live like a caveman? Especially, trying to figure out when you're going to get your next meal, how you going to wash your ass, how you going to take, who's going to take care of your property, whatever the case is. So who knows what's going on with him? So, like I said, hopefully he gets the help that he needs in this situation. Okay, so we have about 4 more topics to go, and then we're done with today's show. But if you haven't already, please hit the like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'm saying, so it's possible that he could have gone. That's what I'm wondering, because I'm sitting there like, if your girlfriend was like, I'm over the BS and I want to go back home to my family, that it was like, you was right, I want to get myself together, I just want to lay up in this bed one good time, get, have an actual real good shower with some clean ass water. Who knows how they was washing their ass? They probably was using somebody's garden hose or going to one of those rest stops or something or another where they have showers that people use. I don't know if you have to pay for those or whatever, but like the people that go to the truck drivers, where they actually go to the truck stop and get clean so they can continue their trip on the road, or renting out a hotel one night just so that way they can have a good night's sleep and shower, whatever the case is. So I do wonder, it's like, okay, so Maybe it is possible that he can go back home and get himself together. But that's probably what the condition is. If he does get to go back to her house, the girlfriend house, whatever the case is, but then again, if I was a parent, I'd be pissed because it's like, okay, now you got my child out here in these streets homeless because I don't have control over her. She want to run around with this man and do whatever. If I was the parent, I'd be mad at him because it's like, okay, now you got my child running the streets. Lord knows what's going on with her. Anyway, speaking of, let's just move on and talk about Megan Good because she seemed like she another one that's like this, the honey boo boo girl, where you just running around here, being with this man. There's some people saying that, you know what, he's a mess too. So yeah, let's talk about Miss Megan and Jonathan. Which, I'm sorry, I don't believe their relationship, but girl, if you like it, I love it. So against the advice of some of her friends, Megan Good revealed her decision to stand by Jonathan Majors through thick and thin. The actress who co-leads the upcoming Tyler Perry-directed film Divorced in the Black. First of all, I saw that trailer, and that movie looked like the typical BS Tyler Perry production. It's some man beating on a woman. She stays. She needs to leave. It's the same cliche crap. And, the people be out here eating it up. Because, when you going to give y'all something different? I understand if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, sir, you've been serving people the same dish for over 20 years. But anyway, if y'all like it, I love it. So she was a guest on Today with Hoda and Jenna, where she talked about her relationship with Majors around the 4-minute mark in the video below. I would play it, but it's NBC, and NBC like to play in my face, so I'm not going to play it. And then I have to go and do a whole edit where I have to cut out the damn video segment. So now when Hoda mentioned Major's legal troubles as the actor was convicted of assaulting and harassing his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari, Good admitted that her friends weren't initially excited about the two becoming a couple. And rightfully so. According to Good, who's 42, everyone advised her against dating Majors. Despite her friends' perspectives, Good decided to continue the relationship, explaining, "One thing I know is that I can always look in the mirror when I trust my spirit, when I trust God, when I ask God, and when I move to the beat of my own drum. I can always look and say, okay, I'm proud of that. No matter what happens, I have peace in my heart and have harmony in my heart." Okay, so that's she perfect for a damn Tyler Perry movie. Because, the minute they start mentioning God and Jesus and shit, everybody fall in line. So it said, "I take everyone I love's opinion into account, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to have to live my life. I want to be responsible for the choices I make and want to live the life that I want to live." Now, she received support, from her older sister, Lamaya Good, while Majors also continues to uplift the actress in interviews and more recently in his that's stupid ass Perseverance Award that she got from Lipo Lee. That he got from Lipo Lee. I'm like, child, really? Y'all really think that was something like, persevering from what exactly? What did you persevere from? Because I'm sitting there like, you ain't no damn innocent, just like Grace wasn't innocent in the whole situation either. They both was equally guilty. He was in a toxic ass relationship, didn't know how to remove himself from it, and then people was looking at it as, all of a sudden, because a white woman tried to take your ass down, now you want to run back home and get him an invite back to the cookout. And Megan was the one that pulled you in hook, line, and sinker. So here's the thing. If he brings you joy, congratulations. That's great on your part. However, I hope it's not going to be in a situation where I've said this many a times. That I have friends who have been in toxic relationships, that have been in abusive relationships, and no shade, but I have said this before. I love you, but when it come down to the drama and all the BS, and I'm sitting there and I'm being a friend, and I'm ready to windmill for that no good ass, low down, dirty dog that you're in a relationship with because you was talking so much ish about that person when you around me, talking about the drug issues they got, talking about when y'all be fighting. Oh, we like Ike and Tina. Is that a great example to set for yourself that you want to compare your relationship to Ike and Tina? We know what happened with them. Or talk about, I'm like Sierra, I can't leave him alone. Okay. Well, that's the choice you want to make. Now I'm gonna sit up in here and windmill and be your cheerleader. But if you're gonna keep going back to that fool, I don't want to hear it. It's like, I love you. I'm gonna love you from a distance. But if you're gonna keep going back and repeating the same beats over and over and over again, I want to hear it. You keep getting that black eye and covering up. You keep getting your ass beat. I don't want to hear about it no more. And it's like, it's just tough love. It's no shade. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. As I said, it's just tough love. So if Megan want to be a fool and stand by this man, and it's cute or whatever that she's doing that, and it's great that, he's getting back out there in Hollywood, he's making little movies or whatever the case is. But if that's what she want to support, that's on her. But if we start hearing stories about him wailing on her ass, because Hollywood is watching, I want to hear it. So I say, let's say, what do y'all think of this story? She wants to stand by her man. Who sang that song? Tammy Wynette? I think it was Tammy Wynette. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Said Tyler Perry makes mediocre Lifetime movies centered around Black people's situations. Exactly. That's why I can't stand it. First of all, I don't even like. Maybe that's because I don't like Lifetime movies. I like movies where, okay, you actually got your shots on point. Meaning, like when you using your camera shots, and especially when you go to someone like me who went to film school. When you see like them lazy ass shots he be setting up, and then he just be trying to film a 2-hour movie in a week. To me, it's like, that's not even real shit. Like, what are you doing? You just trying to cut corners and do all this other mess and give it half-assedness because you thinking people just gonna sit there and have their eyes glued to a movie and watch it just because they just watch movies. They don't pay attention to plot. They're not noticing that the wigs is a mess, that the way you're supposed to set up a shot is off, and then your script don't make no damn sense. It's lazy writing because you don't want to hire nobody. You don't want to diversify your portfolio. Black people don't own you selling. Basically, I guess my overall bitch about Tyler Perry, and I've said this many times on the show, that he loves selling Black trauma for profit. And it's like that we don't all live the life like that. We ain't all come from broken homes. We ain't all come from, our daddies beating on our mamas. Or, some people coming from being a product of abuse. That's because that was your shit. And I would have thought that after 20 years and all that money you made, you would have exercised them demons already. Why do you keep recycling them demons? And don't even get me started on Mabel, a.k.a. Medea. And that foolishness, that was cute for a moment. But Medea been wore out her welcome. Hello. But anyway, that's why I said Megan Good is definitely fit for a Tyler Perry movie because I did see the trailer for that thing. I think it's on Prime Video. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, I know this ain't. I said, Chad, this is giving me Tyler Perry tease. And then it showed up that it was. I rolled my eyes so hard, them shits almost got stuck in the back of my head. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Simon Cowell because he's got this whole boy band situation that's popping around. And it seemed like that is not working. So Simon Cowell's quest to discover a new boy band hit a snag when only a handful of hopefuls turned up to audition. Now, shout out to Daily Mail for this story because it says Simon Cowell's flashy new talent search to find the next One Direction has hit another snag with 2 rounds of auditions reportedly being axed by bosses. The music mogul recently set out a quest to find the next incarnation of the boy band after admitting there had not been a band as successful since, with plans for the search to appear in a Netflix documentary called The Midas Touch. Well, child, that's because you went and dogged out and, you try to act like K-pop ain't a thing. So the people had to get on social media. It was like, how you sitting there talking about there's been no big boy band since One Direction when there's a whole K-pop movement going on and they've been selling out arenas. I worked a boy band show. What's it called? TXT, Tomorrow X Together, I think is what they're called. The cuties. There's some bops. I ain't ever heard of them because I really don't listen to K-pop like that. I kind of did briefly when I lived in LA because, there's a lot of Asians that live out there. So I was listening to Blackpink and all that other stuff, but I was never really into K-pop like that. You know, I went through my boy band phase. Like I was out here listening to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. That's my generation. New Kids on the Block was way before my time. So I was basically NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, not 98 Degrees. 98 Degrees, nobody was really checking for them, quiet as it's kept. But my other boy band, you know, I did like what was the group Together? They were a parody that they did over on MTV. That was a cute little thing that they did. What was it? Calculus, you plus me equals us. That was such a stupid song, but I liked it. It was a vibe. And one of the members from the group, I believe, passed away because he was sick. I think he had cancer. But anyway, let's get into the story because I went down memory lane with the boy bands. So it said it's been reported by The Sun that the first 2 rounds of auditions in Newcastle, which were due to kick off on Thursday, July 4th, have been axed by bosses. This has reduced the number of auditions previously branded as a nationwide hunt from 9 to just 7. It's also been reported that in a bid to build interest, bosses are enlisting TikTok stars and influencers to promote the call out for auditions itself, and we're reaching out to a number of content creators. Yeah, because this is the future. This is why I said, like, they know that content creators, people who are on social media, we're the ones who are pushing the needle forward. We're the ones that's influencing the people. The people are actually watching our content and our videos and stuff and getting the information that way, because you're not going to get the real from the media, the actual journalists. So some of us are actually out here digging up the information and bringing it to y'all. So they said that Simon had previously surprised the music industry by announcing that he was launching his talent search in Newcastle first, followed by Liverpool, Dublin, and London. He said at the time, there's always a high degree of risk that I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen. We might uncover an incredible group. We might not get there. What if no one shows up to auditions? That would be awkward. Well, the latter kind of sort of happened. Simon had previously shared his excitement at kicking off his boy band search in the Northeast hotspot, having previously discovered stars such as James Arthur and Cheryl in the city, as in Cheryl Cole. Because, she only go by her first name now. He added, I wanted to go to places with fun people. So Newcastle, yeah, I like the people from Newcastle. Reps for Simon previously told The Sun that the Newcastle auditions were never canceled because no venues had been booked, noting it was due to travel schedules. Mail Online had contacted reps to further comment. Doubts were previously, okay. You know what? No shade, Daily Mail, but y'all really need to proofread before y'all hit send on a lot of y'all stories, because I'm noticing a lot of grammatical errors. My Virgo was Virgoing. Y'all know how it be. So it said doubts were previously cast. That's what they should have done. Not doubts had previously cast. That don't even make sense. Okay, Chris, focus. Okay. So on Simon's brand new talent search on Tuesday, when a singer issued a savage message to the Britain's Got Talent judge after he was approached by a casting director to audition for the next One Direction. In his search for his newest stars, Simon has been seen taken to the streets of London with a sign that read, Simon needs you, future megastars wanted for new boy band. Meanwhile, his team of casting directors have been reaching out to potential candidates online, but one was not impressed. So it's saying Finn Power from Liverpoolian band Stone claimed he had received the message from someone on behalf of Simon and shared his brutal response. Now, I do have that video. That was the one I was trying to pull up for y'all earlier. And when I was stalling, so I found it. And what I'm going to do is we're going to play it, and then we'll come back with the rest of the show. Please hold. Oh, damn. Now I'm seeing Jonathan Majors trending. That's we just talked about on the previous topic.
So, I got this message from someone on behalf of Simon Cowell. Hello, Finn. I'm contacting you on behalf of Simon Cowell. We're working with the Scout Singers, blah, 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 potential television documentary for a new boy band, blah, 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 blah. And there's only one appropriate reply. Tell Simon Cowell to go fuck himself. Team 1D.
Okay, so he said, tell Simon to go fuck himself, Team 1D. And that is a cackle. And it's like, that's all you need to hear from that whole situation, because that was hilarious. And so it's just like, you know what? A lot of these kids out here, see, this is what you fail to realize. I just feel like, you know what? Maybe with all this going on, that, back in the day when I was coming up, like I said, I came up in the era of NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Old Town, 98 Degrees, that whole sort of thing. When you had the boy bands and the girl bands, like Eden's Crush and Pussycat Dolls, which, sidebar, I did see an article earlier on page 6 where Nicole Scherzinger said, don't rule out that her possibly reuniting with PCD, even with the lawsuit that was filed against her by Robin Anton, who was the founder of PCD. She said she's still open. Maybe she's saying that to just keep the olive branch, whatever the case is. But girl, she on Broadway living her best life. She ain't trying to come back to that damn group. But if she said it, we'll just entertain it. And girls allowed that sort of thing. That's like my generation of groups in Destiny's Child. We've got to put them in there. So when you have that sort of thing, I think back then my generation was willing to do whatever we had to, the blood, sweat, and the tears, and the boot camps and all the other stuff, to become that group, to become that big international pop act. Spice Girls too. Like, we got to put them in there, because that's my generation also. And I grew up listening to the Spice Girls. I remember when that first album came out, I ran my asses to the record. Well, I didn't run my ass because they had to be driven. I had to ask my parents, could they take me to the store? I forgot which store that I went to, somewhere in Long Island. And record store, went in there, started buying some music. I had to get that CD. Because, I loved the lead single. If you want to be my lover, you had to get with my friends, not sexually, because that's not what she meant. That's not what they meant, even though I guess we thought that that's what they meant back then. Or I was just singing a song. I didn't know what it meant. But also, that's just, I guess, British term for, if you want to be with me, there isn't a price to pay, because you don't have to rub me the right way. I'm not a genie in a bottle. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going into Christina territory. Chris, bring it back. I'm losing it today. So it's just like, what that meant was that you got to get through my friends. My friends have to vet you out. That's what those lyrics actually meant when you saying you got to get with my friends. Not, oh, you got to sleep with all the other 4 before you get to the 5th, which would be me. It's not what that meant. So, I don't know. People thought that was a sexual term. That's not what it was. But anyway, so when I was coming up in that whole time, we was all willing to do what we had to do to become famous, go through the boot camps and all other stuff. I feel like now the times have changed. People have social media. They're hip to a lot of the shadiness that has gone on behind the scenes when it comes to a lot of these groups, where there's a lot of these boy bands have said that they don't get paid, that they were broke, that they got ripped off by a lot of stuff. And then we heard the stuff not too long ago that came out with Simon, where he said the shady shit that he said about One Direction. And now, I wish I would have owned the name. He don't own the name. I believe 1D owns the name. And it's like all the other boys since then are famous, even except the one that knocked up Cheryl Cole. I think he's the one. Who is it? Louis Tomlinson. I believe he's the one that really isn't the successful one. The one that's really successful is what we already know about, Harry Styles. Harry Styles is one of the biggest star to come out of that group. And then we know Niall Horan, who I worked his show. His show was sold out. It was a lot of fun. Oh, that's what it was. When we was talking about it yesterday, I was like, there was a group. I mean, there was somebody that was performing, and there was a guy that was behind them, because I told her there these people now complaining about art, fans standing up watching concerts, which I was like, huh? I always thought people could stand up and watch it. That's the show that it was, because I couldn't remember what show it was yesterday. It was the Niall Horan show. There was some young girls that were standing up. There was a man, I guess he older with bad knees, whatever the case was. He 6'4" or whatever. Somehow the girls was blocking his view. They're enjoying the show. So I just went over and talked to them. I was like, I'm sorry. I know y'all want to be here having a good time, and I want to ruin their moments. I was like, can y'all just scoot over? They was little skinny things. So I was like, can y'all just scoot over a little bit and don't block the man view, and y'all can still stand up and watch the show. So that's what had happened. And to me, I just feel like, you know what? A lot of these kids these days, they are on to y'all in regards to the scams and the shenanigans that y'all be putting these kids through. And they're not willing to put in the, deal with the BS that a lot of people of my generation and probably before that had to deal with when they were doing those whole let's find the next band or the next boy band or whatever the case is. So they said they're looking with him to scout singers around 16 to 18 for a new boy band, which is being filmed as part of a potential televised documentary. So maybe, you know, it would be cute or whatever because it's for Netflix. But I just don't see a lot of these younger generations being like, they're like, we're on to you. We're not, like, we know the type of scamations and the shit that's going to go down because we've seen so many of these reality shows, especially, let's not forget, Making the Band and all the drama that was going on behind with that, and Danity Kane and Day 26 and all that other stuff. And plus, Netflix, speaking of which, I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. They have a documentary that's coming out about Lou Pearlman called Dirty Pop, which looks very similar to the documentary that Lance Bass did a couple of years ago, where they're going to go and break down the drama that happened with with Lou Pearlman and that whole drama with him and the stuff that the boy bands that were part of his situation went through. I don't know when that's going to air. I do believe it's sometime in this month, July. But even though I did see the one, I think I saw it on YouTube, actually. Somebody then bootlegged it and posted it up there. Because, whenever you want to see something, YouTube always find a way to put it up there. So I saw the Lance Bass documentary, and it was pretty good. But knowing me, I'm definitely check out this one that they got coming out with the Dirty Pop one that they have coming out. And they got some people talking. I think AJ McLean was one of the people that was in the commercial. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So I ask all of you this. What do y'all think of this whole situation? I honestly don't see that. Simon Cowell done call this thing the Midas touch. I honestly feel that he doesn't have that anymore. They don't have the Midas touch. Yeah, what worked 20-some odd years ago when we first got wind of you as the host of, the judge of American Idol and that sort of thing, what worked back then. Now that these kids, we're in accountability era situations now. I just don't see that this younger up and coming Gen Z, Gen Alpha generation situation, I'm rhyming, is gonna put up with the same things that my generation, millennials, Gen X, and so on and so forth, had to put up with when we were willing to do what we had to become part of the whole boy band situation. So I don't see that happening with this generation. But anyway, do y'all think this thing is actually going to work itself out? Or is Netflix going to end up canceling this documentary or docuseries because they can't find nobody that's gullible enough to sell their soul and sell their life away to be a part of a boy band where they're probably not going to make no real money from? Because remember, Simon did say, he said that he wished he owned the name to One Direction. So whatever this boy band is going to become, you best believe he's going to make sure that he owns the rights to that name. And y'all going to be forever indebted to him until y'all can potentially find a way to, break them chains and try to find a way to become the next Harry Styles or the next Niall Horan. But anyway, let me know what y'all guys think of this story down below. That damn fly scared the shit out of me. So who wants to be in a boy band nowadays when you can be solo? Exactly. And even I heard that these boy groups don't even make money from a lot of the boy groups, they don't even, like, when they have to split that 4 or 5 ways, a damn fly. I told her there's a fly in here. My damn dog, because I've been trying to get my dog to come in the house, and then she takes forever because she a big bitch. So when a lot of times I'm trying to get her in flies, I'm like, I don't want to let the flies in, I don't want the mosquitoes in. So now they over here attacking me. I'm about to smack. I need a fly swatter, or one of the ones I forget I have, like the electrical one that you could shock them. Wait, so who was it? Who was the one that got her pregnant? It wasn't Louis. Louis wasn't the one that got Cheryl pregnant. Which one was it? Let me know in the comments. It says Simon ruined his image, denying the Spice Girls, saying nobody will like them, no one will like Britney. He said a lot of dumb shit where he was completely wrong about. So, Hold on, let's Google schmoogle since we on the live. Which member of 1D knocked child? Let me be shady. Knocked up Cheryl, not Hines, child. Cole. Okay, it was Liam. My bad. It was Liam Payne. Oh. Well, thank you, Robert. I knew Robert would know, but I had to Google schmoogle. Okay, so it was Liam. Oh, they said that from 2023, it said Liam Payne has admitted that he and Girls Aloud singer Cheryl Cole had a solid relationship until she fell pregnant with their son Bear. That's such a cute name. Like, if I had a son, I definitely would name him Bear. That's such a cute name to name your. Oh, hey, little Bear, how you doing? Bear. Or I've had names pointed out for my children. Should that day come. If I have a boy or a girl. But I'm like, Bear is such a cute little name. But I'm like, but wait a minute, how you gonna blame her when you the one that stuck your peen in her and got like you wasn't thinking of wearing a condom? So he didn't want to share in the wealth. But look, Cheryl out here touring and making her money. So hopefully they keep the whole Girls Aloud thing going. But anyway, let's move on to this mess and let's talk about Azealia Banks, who is accusing her landlord of physical intimidation. So she is apparently taking legal action because we talked about it the other day. The landlord was out here, that she was about to be homeless because she can't pay her bills. But now she is countersuing, and she's accusing the landlord of intimidation, violating her privacy, and blaming her for a rodent infestation. So, according to In Touch, it says Azealia Banks sued her landlord, accusing him of attempting to blame her for a rodent infestation and allowing a third party to enter her property where they took video of her lingerie. And this is according to In Touch. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, Azealia dropped the shocking accusations after being sued for eviction. On June 4th, Azealia, who's 33, was sued by her landlord, Isis Claro. It's a dude named Isis? Okay, so it said Isis claimed the musician was in possession of their property under an oral lease agreement. This is why I need everything in writing. In his suit, first reported by the Neighborhood Talk, Isis accused Azealia of owing $8,000 in back rent. Isis asked the court for permission to evict her from the 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3,088 square foot home in the Palmetto Bay area of Florida. A couple of weeks later, Azealia fired back at the eviction lawsuit and filed her own countersuit against Isis and another individual. She denied all allegations of wrongdoing. The defendant has complied with all controlling terms of the parties' lease agreement, including the timely payment of rent. This is what her response read. In addition, Azealia said that she disputed the amount of rent and other charges claimed by the landlord. Azealia's countersuit said that Isis and the third party owned the home in question. She said she signed a 1-year lease in January 2023. Per their deal, she agreed to pay $7,050, I guess is what it is, per month in rent. She said that she paid $14,000 in as a security deposit. Sidebar. Where the hell is she getting all this money? Because I'm like, the only thing I know about Azealia, like I haven't heard her making music. I don't know if she's still accumulating money from her music, but she's been out here making music. I mean, she hasn't made any music. I don't know if she's been touring anywhere. I don't know if people actually have been, having her out here where they can pay her to show up at events. I mean, maybe they have, and I haven't been paying attention because we've been focusing so much when we talk about on this show how she spent more time cussing people out and talk about how untalented they are, than putting out new music. So maybe from her past deals or whatever, 212 and them is still making her a good coin. So yeah, then she said that she paid $14,600 as a security deposit. She said the landlord was supposed to provide her with a new lease after the 1-year agreement ended, but he failed to do so. So then how come if he failed to do so, you wasn't on his neck about it? Because if you only signed a 1-year lease in January of 2023, and here we are in July 2024, where you're being evicted on Independence Day, you should have actually been hounding him January of 2024 to make sure that you are secure in your situation where they can't be trying to kick you out in the street. So she said the landlord was supposed to provide her with a new lease after the 1-year agreement ended, but he failed to do so. She claimed the landlord subjected her to egregious conduct and harassment during her tenancy. The musician claimed the landlord refused to perform maintenance tasks in a timely manner, refused to accept or otherwise acknowledge proper payment of rent, intentionally disturbed her, interfered with her right to privacy, and repeatedly allowed a third party to enter the property without just cause of proper notice. Azealia claimed the landlord allowed a third party to go through her personal belongings under the guise of an inspection and to enter the area of the property entirely unrelated to the inspection in order to videotape her undergarments, including her lingerie. In addition, she claimed the landlord performed unnecessary inspections, both too often and at extremely inconvenient times for her, prematurely demanded rent, and contacted her so much it constituted harassment, contacted her before 7:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. Her countersuit accused the landlord of threats of financial injury, such as publication of disputes to the media. She accused the defendants of physical intimidation and abuse, profane or threatening language. To make matters worse, Azealia claimed the landlord accused her of causing a rodent infestation in the property's attic. Well, you do like sacrificing chickens, so I wouldn't be surprised if you was up in there doing all kinds of craziness, you know, doing a halabo shata shit, you know, that hoodoo mess where you up in here sacrificing animals and things in the house. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the rodents was up in there eating your sacrificial animal parts. So she wound up saying that despite notice from several repairmen regarding this source of the infestation stemming from an opening in the property's roof, she said the landlord failed to repair or maintain. Jesus, I can't read, apparently. She said the landlord failed to repair or maintain the premise of the property to address the access point in the attic causing the rodent infestation. Azealia's lawsuit demanded the return of her security deposit and attorney fees. Now, on July 2nd, the landlord demanded the court throw out Azealia's answer and allow him to take possession of the home at the center of the battle. A judge is yet to rule. So if she has all this stuff, you have proof, ma'am, people was up in there taking pictures of your underwear and all this other stuff and all these things that you were accusing him of doing. The best thing I can say on this whole situation is, sis, if you got the proof, present it in front of the court and we'll see what happens in regards to that, you know, in regards to the judge ruling in your favor or his favor. But child, this is a mess. But I was like, you know what? We talked about the attorney. I mean, not the attorney. We talked about the landlord having the accusations going towards her. We have to give her side. So all we can do now is wait for the judge to make their decision in regards of where they're going to go with this. But I say at the end of the day, with all of this, Azealia, just find a new damn place to live. But still sue their ass if you got a leg to stand on. Regardless, I wouldn't want to stay in that place even after, you know, even if the judge ruled in my favor, I wouldn't want to stay there, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a bitter ass landlord who's going to try to find ways to really harass you. And I've seen enough movies where they be having these crazy landlords in situations of harassing their tenants. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, speaking of comments, we have a couple, so let's go to them. That she's a mess and he's right to kick her out. She's been evicted from the music industry. Okay, that's what she's been worried about. You've been, not only have you been evicted from the music industry, but you've been evicted from your own damn apartment. She's been torn in her own mind. Okay, that makes child. Now this is the crazy part. It's like she called us all kinds of F words and things of that nature, and the Pride events are still booking her. Make that make sense. It said, remember when she sued RuPaul for Call Me Mother and won? Ru wanted to talk it out during a phone. Wait, did she actually win that case? Because you know what? To be clear, that kind of was a ripoff of Azealia Banks. No shade. But Azealia is not the first person to invent rapping over a house beat. Do we need to enter Queen Latifah into the chat? Because Queen Latifah was out here rapping over a house beat, coming, my house, give me body. That old song, you throw that on, and a couple of her songs. Moni Love was out here doing songs like that too. And then we have, in this situation, since she too crazy out here to be booking, making songs and things, let's not forget about Cakes the Killer, who's an out rapper who raps over house beats. But yeah, I do agree. I'm sure that Ru is not familiar with Cakes the Killer, and more than likely ripped off Azealia Banks because she's the bigger name and she's got the bigger mouth and she comes with a lot of controversy. But yeah, Call Me Mother, I remember hearing that it took him almost a week to record that song. Because that is a mouthful. And we know he ain't write that damn song, even though I'm sure he got a writer's credit. Okay, so now let's get into our final our final topic. That we already did that one. So shout out to Sharon Stone, but Miss Mamas, you was a hot ass mess for this because first things first, I'm feeling for her right now because she just recently did a article earlier. I think all of this was coming out where she was talking about that she had a stroke where I think it pushed her brain in front of her head that she said, and she was in a coma or whatever for for like a while, and then blood was bleeding into her. What was it? Because I know I have the article. I have both articles actually, and we're gonna get to the Kevin Spacey thing in a second because But she said she lost $18 million in savings after her stroke that she had in 2001. And the weird part is, see, this is how I know the universe is a cackle. Because I kid you not, I literally was thinking about Sharon Stone this morning, and I think last night too. I was like, where has she been? Like, we ain't really been seeing her acting nothing. Like, I used to, when I was growing up, I used to sneak to watch Basic Instinct. That was my movie. That and Sliver. I should not have watched the movies. But yeah, I was getting my life watching Sliver. And I used to have the biggest crush on Billy Baldwin. And he was tearing that coochie up in that movie. But then I come to find out years later, they didn't like each other. He dissed about her breath. She made comments about him being on set or whatever. And Billy was the fine Baldwin. I liked him out of all of the Baldwins because I was like, oh, he the fine one. And he had no problem showing his ass on camera. That was another thing, too. He always was willing to get naked. And plus, when you growing up young in the 90s or whatever, you're just so happy that any kind of nudity will do, especially when there was no internet, really, and you couldn't watch porn or have access to it. So the closest we got was watching Skinamax-type movies. Basic Instinct, which was a huge hit in the 90s, and then we had Sliver. So she had mentioned that in 2001, because I remember she was doing little things here and there, but we didn't really see her acting. I thought she just quit acting because she wanted to be a mother and raise her sons. But come to find out, in 2001, she had a stroke, and she opened up in, I believe, the Hollywood Reporter. The story came out yesterday. And she opened up and said that she was in a 9-day brain bleed that made her step away from the industry. And said, a Buddhist monk told me that I had been reincarnated into my same body. I had a death experience and then they brought me back. I bled into my brain for 9 days, so my brain was shoved to the front of my face. It wasn't positioned in my head where it was before. And while that was happening, everything changed. My sense of smell, my sight, my touch. I couldn't read for a couple of years. Things were stretched out. Things were stretched and I was seeing color patterns. A lot of people thought I was going to die. She also said that this led to people taking advantage of her over time, and she quickly lost millions of dollars that she had saved up in her bank account, along with other personal items, saying, I had $18 million saved because of my success, and when I got back into my bank account, it was all gone. My refrigerator, my phone, everything was in other people's names. I had zero money. But she said she don't feel bitter. That she's not allowing that negativity to make her feel bitter about anything, which makes me have to windmill and be like, girl, clearly your brain damage done fucked up some stuff up in your head. Because if you sitting there thinking that we need to forgive Kevin Spacey over the things that he did to people throughout his career, Like, girl, what are you talking about? You sound crazy. So, Hollywood legend and Basic Instinct star has suggested that Kevin Spacey has been shunned by the industry because the SA allegations leveled at him involved man-on-man contact. So she's saying he getting it harsher because of the man-on-man thing. When those of us who know that are of the same sex, so we could speak on this, sis, sorry, you cannot. You can, the sexual harassment man-on-man is completely different than man-on-woman. A lot of people will listen to y'all when it comes to those things. A lot of times men can't come forward because they look at us as like, oh, you're not masculine or you're weak or whatever the case is. So a lot of times, a lot of harassment between men on men go unreported. Same thing with women, but I feel like when it comes to women, women are looked at as the weaker gender. So they're going to take a lot of what y'all say a bit more seriously. Things are slowly starting to change for men, but we still have to deal with the scrutiny of, oh, well, you couldn't fight back, or you weak, or you a sissy. We get all the female pronouns, or looked at as weak if we come out and say that we were sexually, harassed by a man. So in May, calling him a genius, the actress was one of several stars that advocate for the disgraced House of Cards actor to return to the acting world. Her comments came after Channel 4 aired Spacey Unmasked, a documentary which featured a number of people going on record to discuss their experience with the Oscar-winning star. I believe also that is the same documentary or special that we have over here in America. See, I guess that's over in the UK, but in America we have HBO Max, and I think it was on into what is it, Investigation Discovery. But over here, because we have the streaming service, on HBO Max, it's actually airing over here. So that's how we got to see it. I haven't watched it yet. I know Felix, friend to the show, told me he watched it and that it was really good. So I need there's a lot of, into what is it, Investigation Discovery. I'm gonna just call it ID because that's what I've been calling it. There's been a lot of ID channel stuff that I need to catch up on. I still even haven't watched the one with Nick Carter and Aaron Carter. So I got to get around to that. So now, in a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Stone was pressed about her support for 64-year-old Spacey. She claimed he was only experienced so much hatred because the accusations were from other men. People are mad at me for saying Spacey should be allowed to act again. I said that after being in therapy for 7 years, not being allowed to work, losing his home, losing everything. He should be allowed to come back. He's reached out to everybody he's offended and said he's sorry. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, sis, because did he apologize to Anthony Rapp, who was like one of the bigger names, because he's an actor, well-known actor. He was in Rent, and he was also in Star Trek Discovery. So Anthony Rapp is like one of the bigger known names that he's assaulted and came forward and didn't win the case, I believe. So who did he apologize to? And says you are not his spokesperson, so you don't have the right to make that decision on whether people should forgive him or not. Because he wasn't on Piers Morgan, one of them crying about, oh, I lost my home. And I was like, well, you should have thought of that before you started grabbing men by their meat pocket. I can't say pussy because that's Trump. That's what he liked to do. But Spacey was over here grabbing people by their meat and potatoes. She said while Stone said that she was aware of Spacey grabbing people by their meat and potatoes, he has admitted being too handsy with people in the past. When you can be handsy as in like, okay, pat people on the back, whatever the case is, but if you grab me in my genitalia, like, no, that's a chop. You have no right to touch me between me down there. You have no time to grab my ass. You have no right to grab me inappropriately in that way. I can understand if you want to like punch somebody in the arm or pat them on the back, whatever the case is, like it's sort of like a bro thing. But no, you don't have no right to touch people in between their legs and in their butt, as Funky Danifa would say, because you are sexually repressed. Which another thing that pissed me off about Kevin Spacey is that he used the opportunity of him being busted with these accusations to finally come out of the damn closet as a homosexual. So you trying to equate that with that, which pissed people off in our community even more because you were equating gay with sexual abuse and grooming, which is a right-wing talking point that they like to use, or a dog whistle, as you would like to, if you will. So she went and had the nerve to say nobody has publicly said he R-word them or forced them into a S encounter. There's so much hatred for him because in this case it was man on man. That's why he's not allowed to come back, because he offended men. But can I tell you how many men have grabbed my genitals in my lifetime? A lot more than Kevin Spacey has grabbed men. Okay, so this is not genital grabbing Olympics. Like, we're not gonna sit up here and equate, okay, so he grabbed this many dicks versus how many people grab me by my boobs and grab me by my pussy. Like, we're not just gonna sit up here and play genital grabbing Olympics, ma'am. So we know in the past that you've said that you've been harassed sexually by a lot of men in the industry because there's a lot of dogs that's running around in Hollywood or probably beyond Hollywood. But if you even know that, you should know that them doing it to you is just as wrong as him doing it to other people. So have you forgiven those people that grabbed you by your cootie cat and grabbed you by your A cups? So the Oscar-nominated casino star suggested that she perhaps has more sympathy than most for Spacey because she has been canceled left and right. But what was she canceled for? Because I need to understand, like, on what level was you canceled? What did you do to cause the cancellation? I'm just asking. I'm not victim blaming or nothing. I want to know what it is for her to even try to fix her mouth to compare her being canceled by whatever she did to what Kevin Spacey has done to a lot of people. So the actress had the nerve to tell EW that she's not defending him. Really? Because it sounds like you're defending him. So how can you say all this but say, oh, I'm not defending him? Ma'am, that's what it sounds like. So clearly, this stroke done fucked up her brain cells even more because she's not getting it. So they said when someone does 7 years of recovery from a compulsive behavior, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or sexual addiction, and takes responsibility for it, in our business, we allow them to come back to work with their sponsor. This is the only case I have seen where that has not been the case. My observation is that this is because it is man on man, and we have not been responsible at all for man on women sex crimes, and that there must be a middle line. Now, I should point out that Spacey has been cleared by a jury of 7 counts of SA and 2 counts of other serious offenses. After a 4-week trial in London in 2022, he was found not liable in a U.S. civil case brought by Star Trek Discovery star Anthony Rapp, who had accused the star of making an unwanted advance towards him in 1986. The actor, who was named as artistic director of London's Old Vic in 2003, is still facing a civil trial in the UK next year after being sued by one of the men involved in last year's trial, who accused him of SA. Spacey has continued to deny the allegations against him. Now, speaking after Spacey Unmasked aired in May, the actor, who has won Tony and Olivier awards for his onstage roles, said that he took full responsibility for his past behavior and his actions, but cannot and will not take responsibility or apologize to anyone who's made up stuff about or exaggerated stories about him. Well, look, that's up to the court as well as the court of public opinion. And to me, it's like, okay, I'm glad you out here defending your friend Sharon. However, you are incorrect in your overall assessment and trying to be, oh, it's because it's man on man. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that there is probably a little extra stank thrown on situations because if it's man on man, homophobia and all that other stuff. However, harassment, in my opinion, is harassment, and nobody has a right to grab somebody inappropriately. Now, when he's vindicated and all this other stuff, maybe he can make a comeback and come back into Hollywood's good graces and they can work with him once all of his cases are put to bed. But this is not a place for you to even be jumping in and windmilling for this man, knowing the things he's done in the past and how he decided to reveal his homosexuality on the back of, oh, well, because now y'all found that I was grabbing men inappropriately because I was so deep in the damn closet and full of self-hatred and shame that I want to sit and use this as a way for me to come out of the closet. I was like, oh, no, sir, you're not going to try to equate that with us. You put, in the words of Vivica Fox, you put that back there. So I said, well, let's say, what do y'all think of this story? Are y'all here for what Sharon had to say, or she need to stay out of grown folk business? Whatever y'all think, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so we have comments. He said Azealia Banks, the Insane Asylum Tour 2024, 2 months live at the asylum where Andrea Gates did her crime. And okay. And so then said Elton John was having dinner with Kevin Spacey a couple of months ago. And child, he's another one that's problematic. I can't stand Elton John. That's why I'm glad that, you know what, Madonna got the best revenge on his old bitter wig wearing ass. And you know, that mess that I think we talked about it yesterday. That story that came out that he was in a high-end boutique, you know, shoe store with his sons and a bodyguard, and they didn't have a bathroom, so he went and pissed in a bottle. His old ass, because apparently he can't see, or maybe he don't know how to aim his dick right, because he gave me the type that drip all over the damn floor in his house, because he got a little dripation on the floor in the store, and the bodyguard had to go wipe it up. I'd have made him get his old ass on his damn knees and wipe that shit up. And that's why I cackled when, you know, the media found out about it, because somebody that worked in the store done spilled the tea. I was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be coming up in here and pissing in a damn bottle. Nasty. I never pretty much cared for Elton John. He also likes to. Oh yeah, that's why I said when you brought that up, because I told the open legs as well, iconic. Okay. From Basic Instinct, I told you that was like one of my all-time favorite movies. Oh, you know what? Also, I love Sharon Stone in Total Recall. That's another one of my favorites of hers too. You know, she was my favorite in that film. I loved her in that movie. And then also, I forgot she was in Above the Law with Steven Seagal. What Kevin did was awful, but I bet you if it was a guy like Henry Cavill, I think that, yeah. Now, if Henry Cavill, see, and I think also that's another thing too. When we talk about pretty privilege and stuff, if Henry Cavill was out here grabbing men by their genitals, y'all would tell him, throw me up against the wall and arm my guts. That's what a lot of y'all be saying, because, you know, we see the gays that be online. And I will admit that I play into this too. I'm not going to sit up here because I'll be like, Henry Cavill, yeah, he fine. And I'll be like, I want to tear that pussy up. And so we all are guilty of the whole pretty privilege thing. We would be singing a different tune if it was somebody like a Henry Cavill. Y'all would not be out here saying that. Didn't I hear a story? I remember I heard a story the other day. I need to bring that on the show. There was something about John Travolta and his male lover. There was a story that came out about him allegedly. I need to look that story up and bring that on here. But it was like, yeah, so yeah, but it was but because Kevin Spacey isn't your standard beauty, now all of a sudden, you know, he's out here being abusive. But still, what he did isn't right though. Yeah. They said, didn't he assault Rap when Rap was underage? That's even worse. He gave right-wingers the anti-gay ammo. And that's the same thing that they was talking about with Austin Wolf. Oh, sidebar. Robert, I finally watched the Mr. Pam video on YouTube yesterday because I was catching up on stuff. I finally watched it, and I agree with her that she was saying, like, with the whole Austin Wolf situation, she said she's been to his house, that he has a nice little condo in Chelsea, that she's been to, and he got mad at her for standing on the chair to get the photo. I guess they were doing like a film, or maybe it was like a group photo or something or another. I don't remember. But she was saying that, you know what, maybe what it is that, you know, we need to look at ourselves as a community, because you are giving, speaking of which, when you was talking about giving right-wingers anti-gay ammo, that clicked and reminded me of the Austin Wolf thing. And she was saying that, you know, we need to hold our community accountable, and maybe what we need to do is, why is it that we look at adult cinematography content where it's like it has to be this daddy-son thing? I think it's probably because the studios are the ones that are telling us that if this is what we want to see. We have to be the change we want to see, which is why I guess now, and it made me think, I was like, this is why you have a lot of content creators who are, because they got into the adult cinematography industry, the mainstream one, like when you want to work for Hot House, whatever, those type of companies, because they wanted to have relations with people their age. But then they get groomed, they get lied to, you know, they go to these places thinking one thing, and then the producers switch it up on them in the last minute. You don't have control of the narrative. So now this is why a lot of times when I say, like, you have independent contractors, like people like myself on YouTube, where we control the narrative of the type of show. I created this show because I didn't see shows that I wanted to see in regards to like talk entertainment stuff on any place or whatever, network, television, whatever. So I created what I wanted to see. You have to be the change. Same thing with people who make music. They put it on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever. Y'all create the narrative of what you want to see. Same thing with adult content. It's like a lot of these younger kids now, they don't want to do the daddy son stuff. I mean, they know like getting with an Austin Wolf, that's going to help their cachet, because Austin Wolf definitely is like one of the biggest adult film stars to come out of the industry. So doing a collab with him is definitely going to bring your numbers up. So a lot of the kids now, they're taking the narrative into their own hands, and they're creating their, with the OnlyFans, the 4 Mouth fans, I guess it's gonna be done because that's Austin Wolf's thing. But the OnlyFans and the Just for fans that's coming, that people are creating their own content and all this other stuff, they're controlling the narrative. So now it's like you're seeing, and I do be seeing it on the Twitter, a lot of the young boys or whatever that are like of legal age, they're having relations and doing content with people their own age. They're not necessarily doing the whole underage content. Now, if you want to have sex with somebody who just turned, 19, 20, 21 or whatever, that's cute. But the minute y'all start incorporating, the daddy coming into the room and the boys in the bed with a damn teddy bear and the room is decorated like it's a 14-year-old boy's room, that's problematic. I can understand if you're older man, younger man situation. As long as y'all legal, it's cute. That's what you into. But when y'all start incorporating the decorations and the sets to start looking like pedophile type stuff, that's a problem. So that's what that reminded me. So I'm glad I finally, because I'm like, yeah, that was the perfect time to bring up the whole thing. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check that video out of Mr. Pam talking about the whole Austin Wolf situation, because that's somebody who is in the industry that has worked with him and understands that whole world that we're getting the conversation from. So Sharon Stone needs to sit down and have plenty of. I'm not letting her health scare give her. Exactly. That's why I said, you know what? That brain being pushed in the front of your head clearly it fucked up her judgment. Because it's like, no, your whole health scare situation, and I empathize with you on that. However, you don't get a pass for trying to sit out here and defend an abuser or somebody because you wasn't comfortable with your own sexuality, that you want to use that as a way in your power to harass boys that you're sexually attracted to. I don't care who it is. Netflix being dragged for doing. Oh yeah, I did see that Joe Rogan has a comedy special coming up. Funny enough, I used to like Joe Rogan back in the day, but that was because he was on news radio with Kathy Griffin, and I guess that was acting. But we didn't know that. Well, I didn't, and I guess most of us didn't know the type of comedian or how problematic that Joe Rogan will become down the road. So Netflix is getting dragged. Yeah. What he says, Gen Z needs to be eradicated as a Gen X. I'm sorry for breeding this ungrateful little shits to lots of whatever. Joe Rogan is trash. I never got the appeal of him. To me, it's still the culture acting like men can't get SA behavior because the culture of men celebrates when they lose the V card, as he is become. Yeah, that's why, especially when it comes to the whole older woman harassing young boys, they look at that as a rite of passage. But I'm like, what if that's unwanted? You haven't given the child a chance to actually have the choice to want to go and get with the girl they want to get with, to lose their virginity, which is what society normal stuff tells us. But then we live in a society where you have grown ass cisgendered heterosexuals who run around and talk about, when a little boy is 4 or 5 years old, oh, is that your girlfriend? Like, y'all be pushing that shit on them when they at a young age. We don't even know what that is. But the gays is out here grooming the children. Make that make sense. But y'all be out here trying to enforce girlfriends on little boys when they're not even old enough to understand what a girlfriend is. Dad and son, stepdad. Yeah, exactly. It's very weird. I can never understand people that get into all of that family dick type stuff. Because I definitely see daddy son thing going out of style. Yeah, I do think that is what it is. And I think it was starting to happen that way even with the Austin Wolf stuff. But like I said, with the whole algorithms and stuff, Austin was looking at his shit and realizing that that's what that's what a lot of his fans wanted. And that's probably where he was making a lot of his money. But the one thing I do love about Mr. Pam, she was saying that he's a nice guy, but from a lot of sources that she knew in the industry, how manipulative he was in regards of like when somebody had hit a certain amount of numbers on their social media that he went and reported it and had it taken down, and how he would film with certain people and they would ask him to take things down and he wouldn't do it. So I'm like, so where was he a nice guy? Maybe I guess he was a nice guy when y'all encountered each other, but to me, that's not nice guy behavior when you out here using your power and influence to manipulate and destroy people. That's your competition. So it's that I don't get what people say. I don't know what they saw in him either. And I told you, I don't know if you was here when I talked about it, but I was like, I ran into Austin Wolf maybe 2 weeks before he wound up in jail. He was on his way to the gym and I was on the way to my gym. We're in the same area because I work out in Chelsea. So he was on his way to Gym U and I was on the way to my gym. And Sailor Mermaid, friend to the show, actually goes to the same gym. He goes to the same gym with me too. But he also started going to Gym U. I was like, well, I want to go in there and try it out. First of all, that gym is $200 a month. So that's going to be a real commitment for me to have to spend that kind of money to be going up in there. But a lot of big stars go to Gym U, like, well, especially like if you were from the nightlife scene, because it's David Barton. David Barton used to be married to Suzanne Barr. She was like one of the biggest club promoters in New York. Like anybody who was a who's who, Amanda Lepore, a lot of them have partied under Suzanne Barr. I've been to many of Suzanne Barr's parties back in the day. And, you know, if you're like of the whole club kid ilk, her parties are a lot of fun. But yeah, she used to be married to David Barton, and he's like this big buff guy about this high, like real short, little man. And, you know, a lot of like the nightlife back, and it's funny, it's his Gym U is literally in the same spot that his old gym used to be in, which was David Barton Gym. And all the nightlife people went there. A lot of the drag queens, porn stars, you know, nightlife impresarios, club people, they all used to go to that gym. Even celebrities, bigger celebrities. And so also the biggest gay corn star right now is Malik Delgatti. You want to know something funny? I meant to bring this up on the show. He told a story, I think it was on Straight Up Gay Corn, the website. And he was talking about that him and his father, it must be a hereditary thing, because he said his father worked at the same male strip club that he did at one point. So I was like, that's good. And I like Malik Delgatti. That's a fine-ass man who likes to take it in the butt every now and again. I heard Malik is straight, but not actually. Well, look, he taking it up the butt for money, front and the back. So who knows? He's straight-ish. Both wolves going down. Oh wait, who's the other wolf? It was Wolf. What's his name? Because there was another story. Oh, Wolf LeGrand. That's what he was talking about. I want to see Maxine too, but I heard that it doesn't. I mean, that it's a good movie, but it doesn't live up to the same potential as X. I liked X. First of all, X had to grow on me. When I first saw X, that's what I was gonna say. I believe it's a lie too, because I don't care how much money somebody throw at you. If you a straight man, ain't nobody taking nothing up their ass for no damn money. So I do think he's bisexual. I do agree with that. Now, it ain't no way, because I was like, ain't no amount of money in the world a straight man gonna take something up his behind. I think a lot of times people just say that, like how some people say, oh yeah, I'm bisexual. Some, I do believe that bisexuality is a thing, but there are some people that just be hiding behind the bisexual shield, knowing that they're full on homosexual. So something I do believe that. Because they don't want to fully come out, because they don't want to be discriminated against. That was kind of the argument back in the day. But more people are becoming more comfortable with their sexuality. So there's that. But I do want to see Maxine. I've been hearing mixed reviews on it. Like some people saying like, oh, it doesn't live up to the same hype as the original. The first, like X had to grow me. I think it's because it was a slow burn. But it did give me like Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, so I should have known, like, put yourself in that mindset. And I like Ty West as a director and some of the stuff he's done. And I do want to see Maxine. And I think with the problem they said with Maxine is that tonally, it doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be the serial killer film. It doesn't know if it wants to be like a Dario Argento Giallo type movie. That it's like, it doesn't know if it wants to be neo-noir. Like, it's all over the place in regards of its tone. So I feel like if you would have just played it like a straight up Dario Argento Giallo that takes place in like, and then kind of give it like this whole, damn, what's the name of that movie that I love? Maniac. Like if it had like this Maniac vibe, but kind of like give it a little bit more of that whole Dario Argento Giallo, it probably would have worked even more. But yeah, I definitely want to see Maxine. I like Mia Goth. I just hope that they can get this whole thing with Blade going because I definitely want to see her what she would bring as Lilith in this movie. And I didn't even know she had a kid. Like Julia Fox. Julia Fox is the mother and she a lesbian. Shout out to her. Because she came out the closet 2 days ago. What's the guy that used to mess with Timothy Champagne that locked his... Was it Ace Carter? Oh yeah, because I heard some tea about Ace Carter. That they said they was coming for him next. I like Timothy Champagne. He said he bisexual. But anyway, we are at the end of the show. If you can, please hit that like button, that subscribe button, the notification bell, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If y'all have any more questions, comments, and concerns, I'm gonna address it before y'all hold y'all peace and I log off. So I do like the religion angle they use as the killer as is a pastor, which X revealed Maxine came from the church. Oh, is that like the thing? Because I don't know anything about the plot and stuff. So I've been avoiding the spoilers and stuff. So I don't know who the killer is. And I want to keep it that way. But yeah, I definitely want to watch Maxine. You know, it's another horror movie that I'm like, can y'all please hurry up and put it out there? What is it? What is it? In a Violent Nature? I always forget the name of that damn film. I want to see that. But it ain't on Shudder yet. I'm checking my Shudder app as I talk to y'all. They got House on Haunted Hill, the old one, and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I want to see that film. And it's like, I don't want to pay for it. Because I'm already paying for it on the streaming service. I don't want to pay for it on like Prime Video, because it is available on Prime Video. And I know some people I know saw it, and I've been seeing like the reviews is mixed on that too. It's just like it's a slow burn. I don't want to just pay to see this wannabe Jason Voorhees, zombie Jason walking through the woods hacking people up. I would just wait until it comes out on not Prime Video, because it's already on there. If y'all want to pay the money to rent or to buy, I don't want to pay that. I'm already paying for Shudder, so I'm gonna wait. Hopefully they don't decide to just dump it in October during Halloween. It's at Halloween. Yeah, well, it depends. I don't know if it's like scary or we want creepy, scary, or we want gore. Like the movie that freaked me out, I will say, is Terrifier. I was freaked out by that movie. But I do love 976 Evil. And usually I'll be watching that. I watched that on Tubi. That was the last time I watched that one. That was it was like last year. I was at work and it was so slow. So I literally was watching 976 Evil at my desk when I was working. Because I was like, I need something to watch. And then, his crazy, the lead character, his crazy ass mother and all that stuff. So, and then you had the guy that ended up doing gay porn up in there, Evil Ed. So, to pay YouTube Premium, but they want version without YouTube Music because they pay for Spotify. Yeah, nobody's gonna be out here because look, Prime Video be wanting me to pay all this stuff for music, and I'm not using it. I already use Apple Music. I don't need to be paying all this other stuff. And Spotify, I usually just use Spotify for the podcast. Like if I want to listen to Race Chaser or anything like that, I just use it for that. Or sometimes, depending on what they talk about, Las Culturistas podcast, but my friend said nobody listens to them because I forget who it was, but they came out like a best podcast award nominations, and they didn't put damn, I wish I would have had that up. But they didn't put Sloppy Seconds on there with Meatball and Big Dipper, and it's a good damn show. I actually went to a live taping of their podcast. We talked about it on the show, and that's a good show when they was doing it because I went all the way out to Brooklyn. A friend of mine worked the event, so I got to go. And the pictures on my Instagram. Took a picture with Meatball and Big Dipper. Big Dipper and I were flirting with each other, and that was that. But it was a fun situation. Then we went all the way out to Brooklyn and had a good time and then I met two girls from there, which we became friends, and now we chat on social media. So he said we need to bring back Hostel Saw movies. How funny you say that, because I don't know if you know, but we are getting a Hostel TV series. I think we talked about it on the show. They're making a Hostel TV show. I don't know which streaming service is use it. Hold on, while we on here, let me look that up. But it's funny. I just Googled it and automatically came a hostile TV series, and it's with Paul Giamatti. I was like, yeah, we talked about that. Well, let's see if it mentions. It's going to be the studio behind Apple TV Severance. So I don't know if it actually has a streaming service that is going to be on, but they're making it with Paul Giamatti, and we don't even know who Paul Giamatti is portraying. But that's that. There was also, speaking of which, I was saying, I was like, did they say which shows is coming back or what's being canceled? Because I saw that. I was like, I don't want to go through this damn list. But yeah, they're making a hostile TV series. Hopefully it does work. We'll see. Are you saying it's on Tubi? So that was the way I saw it. So who knows? I may decide to watch that later on today because I've been feeling a little nostalgic. Oh, speaking of which, if y'all have not seen this show, I'm gonna give y'all a show recommendation. I started watching it yesterday. If y'all have not seen that show on Netflix, Supercell with the black superheroes, y'all need to see that show. That show was actually good. Now it starts out, it's 6 episodes. It's a slow burn. Because I guess they want you to get to know the characters and that sort of thing and how they're developing their powers, how they discovered how they had their powers. It's giving me hero tease. But the good thing about it is we're seeing black superheroes, and that's not something normal that we see. And I'm saying that support this show because you know how Netflix love canceling shit, especially when it's good, and we need that representation. So if y'all have not seen Supercell, it's a British series. Because they be giving them thick accents. It's giving very much damn, I forgot the name of what's his name? Not Daniel Kaluuya. Was it Daniel Kaluuya? When he did that show, who was the one that was in Attack the Block? They got that thick British accent. John Boyega, that's who it was. Look at me confusing my black people. But I was like, yeah, John Boyega. It's like they got them thick, British from the hood accent. Where they from? I know Adrian, you're from the UK. Because I don't understand, they got people with different dialects. Where they from? Where they from? Let me sound like I'm ratchet. Where you from? So it's like, yeah. So if y'all haven't seen that show, definitely check it out. It's a good one. Especially the way they're building up the characters and stuff. So I want to finish watching because I remember I saw some people talking about it. I also saw Kevin Ortega Rojas did a video on it, and I didn't want to watch that yet until I was like, okay, let me because everybody's talking about this damn show. I don't want to sit and be all depressed with fucking Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon with they depressing asses. And if y'all don't keep giving the depressiveness with everything that's going on with that show, stop watching it. Because y'all too damn depressing. I had to binge watch it the other day on Sunday because I hadn't watched this full season yet. So I'm like, when they started talking, when I saw the new episode, the recent episode trending, I was like, okay, I got to sit and watch it because I know somebody gonna spoil some stuff. I need Disney to sell the Muppets because they keep paying the franchise. No shade, but I'm gonna start canceling my Disney Plus because I feel like y'all not giving nothing over there. The Acolyte is terrible. Y'all don't never put nothing interesting and new up there. You're not creating any content. Even though Agatha all along, I will say, looks good. I'm not 110% all the way giving fully in to getting my hopes up because Disney, you have pissed me off so many times where every time y'all create something and y'all put it on y'all channel, I'm always disappointed. So I'm reserving a little bit. I wanna be excited for Agatha all along, but I'm not fully giving myself to it. I'm not giving myself fully to liking it because y'all have let me down so many times. I've yet to see. Well, I've yet to see a good Star Wars series, but that's not true. They do have a good Star Wars series. The one with oh my god, what's his name? Diego Luna. That was a good one. That's the only one I like. All the other ones was terrible. I can't remember the name of the show. I guess I was like Diego Luna Star Wars. It was like, what is the name of the show? Well, he was in Rogue One, right? Andor. I don't know why I could not remember the name of that damn show. But here it is. So, yeah. All right, so let me log off and let me get up out of here. Possibly do a show tomorrow, depending on if there's some good tea that's being spilled. And I'm sure there is. I like, damn, this week went by fast. But anyway, hit that like button, that subscribe button, smash the notification button so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Let me take that out. I did see there was another comment. I don't think I saw that show where you were talking about they canceled award-winning and ratings hit with the Electric Mayhem, but because it wasn't Marvel or Star Wars, Disney canceled. I don't remember that show. That's probably why nobody was watching it. But yes. So love you all for watching. Hit that like button, that notification button, all that good stuff. Thank you everybody that was tuning in. Thank you everybody that was in the comments, commenting and keeping this show, live and everything. Yes, Adrian, thank you for tuning in along with Robert, Onyx, all the usuals. Who else was up in here? Sailor Mermaid. Wait, no, Sailor Mermaid wasn't up in here. Like I said, Onyx was up in here. Lanier was in the house. We had a couple of others. If I forget your name, I apologize. And yeah, so love you all for watching. Until next time, ciao, darlings.